What's up, everyone? Eric here. Make sure my microphone is working. Yes, it looks like it's working. Welcome to the Nocturnal Nerdcast, Pop Culture in the Dark. It is Thursday, August 6th, 2026. We got some interesting news today. What we're going to be talking about is the Cyclops casting. I have a lot to say about that and what it might mean for the future X-Men characters in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So we'll talk about that a little bit. We got some updates on the cancellation of Wonder Man and the responsibility behind it. And some updates about the Batman Part 2 and Part 3. So we're going to talk about all of that tonight, plus a few other topics. And we're going to cover if we have at least 3 people, which I hope we do, we're going to do our top 3 favorite cartoons made for adults or with adults in mind. So we'll be doing that. And in just a moment, I'll put up the list for you guys to vote on for tonight. So if you want to donate, you can do it that way. It's going to the New Computer Fund. That's what I need for a new computer fund. I'll do some shout outs to some people in the chat. We have some channel members in the building. Anthony Beltry's here. Jose is here. We have Cameron moderating as well tonight. Thank you so much. Fetman Plays is here. Jaybird, Dalton. I'm trying to make sure I don't miss anybody that's here early. Game Dude is here. Ira, One Marvel Fan. Hugh Deuce. I love that name. That's great. Candles is here. Chris is here. Andrew's in the building. Serenity's here. And Chief, what's up? I also know that the Marvel fighting game came out today. So I know some people are playing that. If you're watching and playing at the same time and you don't want to type, shout out to you for that. I appreciate it. What's up? Watching from Nigeria. Awesome. What time is it in Nigeria right now? I'm very curious. As of right now, we don't have anybody in the back room, but that's okay. I'm here to chat with you guys. We're here to have a lot of fun tonight and cover some interesting topics. Let me see what else I have here. D23 Jose. I think so. I am leaning 4:34 a.m. Wow, you're a real one. Thank you for being here. I am leaning more and more towards some sort of X-Men portion of D23. I do believe they're going to focus on the TV stuff, but I think we might get a little bit of movie stuff with the X-Men. And the castings are so, like, the rumored castings and the confirmed castings tell me that we are gearing towards a very young X-Men lineup. That's what it tells me. So that's interesting. What's up, South Texas Shark? So Brelly's watching Maximilian Dude play Marvel, or you watched him play Marvel Tokon Fighting Souls. Interesting. Sammy says, I think racism is happening because they canceled Blade as well, and there's no reason for them to. We'll talk about that when we get to that topic. I have a few things to say about that. Silhouette Animator coming in with a $5 super chat, kicking us off for the night. I'm glad I deleted my Twitter ages ago. The DC talks on there are all toxic negativity. Sorry about that tongue twister there. Toxic negativity. I didn't delete my Twitter. My account is still there because you guys know, like, tonight we're going to be using it for bookmarks and stuff, but I don't engage with people. Like, I'm not on there arguing for hours and hours and hours with people. It's just not good for you. And you're right. It's not good for the fandom as well. It's a lot of engagement bait. I see people ripping other people off, like copying their tweets and shit like that. So yeah, I understand though. Cody, good to see you. It's very much evolution era stuff. I'm okay with that. Mayo says, you think we're getting the original 5 for X-Men? Do you mean like that's the lineup? Like, are you asking if that's the lineup we're going to have for the first X-Men, or if we're just going to get them at all? Which one are you asking? Yeah, I don't stay on there very long. Now I'm following just the trades and like some actors and friends, and that's pretty much it. Oh, we got another super chat here from Silhouette Animator. $5 super chat. There was a Lantern's fart edit. What? Wait, are you for real? Is that like? It's not fan edit. You actually mean fart edit? I'm confused. Is this a thing? Is it on YouTube? Is there quite literally an edit of the trailer with farting in it? Oh my god, I'm not into potty humor, so we're not watching that. But that's crazy. Yeah, Chris, exactly. So you're talking about the OG, like the X-Men lineup from the canceled X-Men, the one that didn't make it. They had to bring it back after they did the relaunch in the 70s. Um, I don't know. To be quite honest, I don't know. We know we're gonna have a Jean. We know we're gonna have a Scott. Presumably a Beast. No word on Iceman or Angel right now. Um, I don't know. I'm not totally sure. I would like so my favorite lineup of the X-Men is the second era, like the 70s, the uncanny runs from the 70s, 80s, and 90s. Those are my favorite. But the classic teams I liked when they were X Factor. I think they got much more interesting when we got the Walt Simonson run of X Factor in the 80s. Um, and I'm trying to remember, did he actually launch that with his wife? I think he did. Um, no, they were later on. I stand corrected. It was Bob Layton and Jackson Geis. And then we went on to the run with Louise and Walt Simonson. So yeah, Bob Layton. Such a classic cover. Great cover for X Factor. Let me show you guys. This is I love covers like this. Let me show you here. This has always been, I think, a great cover because it feels so cool. When I first saw this as a kid, it feels cool to see them back with costumes so close to the OG costumes, but updated, cooler looking, like in general. Like obviously, as time goes on, we get rid of Jean's mask. She doesn't wear that mask, and the suits go into like the different color scheme that we had, which was like the white and blue Cyclops, the orange and red Jean looks. So we got the different ones, but I actually really, really, really like this cover. I thought this was really cool. Yeah, Jean Grey head laser. Maybe she's jumping from body to body. Maybe that's what she's doing. We got another super chat from Silhouette Animator. Thank you again. $2 super chat. Rogan Storm instead of Iceman and Angel. You know, well, first of all, I don't know if I would co-sign on that one. Angel for me is a weird story. And I don't know if you guys are going to agree with me or not. Maybe you will. But Angel became much cooler after Apocalypse. And I don't even think that's a hot take. I think most people would agree that's accurate. But it's because they were like, oh, we're going to give this guy wings, and then that's all we're going to do, right? He's going to have like a little pistol or something and wings, and that's what we're going to do with him. And he became a much more interesting character after that happened. But we kind of need him before that, right? So I feel like jumping right into Archangel, right into the Apocalypse stuff, would be a mistake. I think we need him as Angel before that for a while so that we can sort of settle into the change between the Angel and the Archangel. As far as Iceman goes, one of the coolest things from Days of Future Past is the Iceman stuff. To me, I think is that the only time we've gotten a really good on-screen Iceman? Am I forgetting? I don't think I am. I think that's the best Iceman we've ever seen in live action. Because he doesn't get a lot of love on screen. So in that scene in the movie, it was one of the best updates we got to a character when we jump ahead into the future. So I thought that was really cool. So I would love to see Iceman, because Iceman obviously is more powerful than what most people think. So bring him on. Bring Iceman on. I'm totally down for that. So let's talk about where is it at here? Trying to find the article, 1 second. All right. Let's go. We'll do the Batman stuff first. So we hadn't had much of an update on the Batman Part 2 in a minute. It's been no secret that I'm not the biggest fan of this Batman era, like the Matt Reeves stuff. I'm not the biggest fan of it, but I understand why people like it. I get it. It's not really my thing. But there was a rumor that the Batman 3 was filming with the Batman 2. Like they were trying to do 2 movies all in one filming, right? To be honest, they probably should have. Only because of the fact that we know it's going to be a while before we get the 3rd movie, based on how things went with this one. So the fact that there was a rumor they were going to be doing the 3rd one at the same time, I was like, okay, that makes sense. And then he shot it down. James Gunn shot down the speculation when asked to confirm or deny. I could deny. And we also know that they delayed the release of Batman Part 2, which is still in production. The movie will open theaters February 18th, 2028, nearly 6 years after the March 2022 opening of the Batman. I will say 3 years, 4 years, even 5 years feels like a good spot for like a franchise built around these characters. 6 years is crazy. 6 years is crazy. But you know what? People are going to be seated for it. I actually think this movie might have the Spider-Man effect. Not we're going to talk about that in a moment. Not that it's on the path to $2 billion. Like, I don't think that. But I think there are going to be people that are going to spend money on seeing this. They're going to spend money on seeing this. Even if the movie came out 10 years later, they're going to want to see this. So it is what it is. I still feel like, and I know that they've talked about it a little bit, I still feel like this is going to delay the DCU Batman stuff. I know they've tried to say it's not, but I feel like it will. I had a video here that we were going to watch together. Where is it at? Actually, let's talk a little bit more about Spider-Man, just in general. We got an update from Luis Fernando here. This is crazy. In just 8 days, Spider-Man Brand New Day beats Iron Man's $1.22 billion run as number 8 highest grossing comic book movie, and tops The Fate of the Furious' $1.2 1.24 billion as 29th highest grossing film ever at global box office. It's kicking off its second weekend overseas, reaching on its second Wednesday at 759.3 billion over 66 markets. Allied to its 481.9 million in the US, the new Spider-Man, with a 225 million net production price tag, not including marketing, it's a 1.24 billion global cumulation in just 8 days. Tonight, it's going to beat Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom's entire 1.31 billion global run. 2 billion locked and coming on second weekend already, or next week at latest. So remember we talked the other night about this, and I said that there is a possibility that this movie hits 3 billion. I would say this is a pretty good indication of the road that we're heading down with Spider-Man. I would say 3 billion is in play at this point. Because it's going to secure 2 over this fucking GIF moving is driving me up the wall, quite literally. Sorry. I thought 2 billion, like when we talked about this movie early on, I was like, oh, it's definitely going to get 1 billion. I thought it could get 2 billion. Like in my mind, I'm like, okay, it's going to get 1 billion. Some people were saying 1.5, right? Some people were saying 1.5 or whatever. It looks like now it could double the 1.5. It's going to hit 1.5 before we even get into Friday. Like once the Friday numbers drop, I think it's going to be close to 1.5 by then. So I think that's definitely, I'm no longer questioning 2 billion now. I'm questioning 3 billion. What's it out here? What's the number for highest ever? You talk about box office? Let me look here. If you talk to the inflation bros, it's Gone with the Wind. I know that. Gone with the Wind's like a $4 billion movie if you talk about inflation. I think it's Avatar or Endgame. I have to look. I actually think it's the first Avatar. Let me look over here. Yeah, it's the first Avatar movie. 2.293 billion is one. So here's the thing. In order for Spider-Man to get into that top 5 list, it needs to beat 2.21 billion to get into the top 5. And then it needs to be 2.9 to get number 1. I actually think that's in play. I think that's in play for sure at this point. Inflation, bro. I know. Yeah, Serenity. I was wondering which one it was. I couldn't remember. Yeah, so this will be incredible. If this movie, we could be watching something historic right now. I need you guys to understand this. Putting aside the state of the industry right now, like where it's been for the last few years, right? Putting all of that aside, we're seeing a movie that quite literally could break $3 billion at its initial run at the box office. We're not talking about coming back and watching it when it gets a re-release or, what it makes on VOD or anything like that. We're talking about just raw, like 3 million. That's historic. Okay. Also, we know it's going to get some IMAX screenings. That's definitely going to boost it up. We're going to see some crazy numbers when the IMAX screenings come into play. I can guarantee you. Let me check this out. I'm going to find out when it goes on sale for IMAX, just so we can keep an eye on it. I'm sure we'll see articles about it when it happens, but I'm just curious if there's a date announced. The fact that they're doing that over top of the Odyssey is mind-blowing. I wonder how the fuck Christopher Nolan feels about it. Oh, we're going to see it this weekend. Yes, yep, Serenity. We're going to see it this weekend. So we will see those numbers this weekend. Yeah, like people could have gone tonight at select IMAX theaters to see Spider-Man Brand New Day. That's legit. Holy shit. We got a super chat from Big Fieldy over here. $5 super chat, just showing some love. Thank you so much, Big Fieldy, and shout out to you for being a channel member. I do appreciate that. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for the $5. So Jose here says, does that mean Doomsday won't pass Brand New Day numbers? I don't think it, okay, so it's way too early to say for sure, right? Because there's other factors. I said this on Tuesday. What if they announce that Spider-Man is in Doomsday? That changes everything. That changes all the numbers, right? So right now we know there are characters in Doomsday that have not been announced. We know this for sure. 1, 2, 3, maybe more that we're going to see that have not been announced to be in the movie. If Spider-Man gets announced in Doomsday, that changes every projected number. I mean, I'm pretty sure some analysts out there have already crunched the numbers, right? Like they've already said, depending on where Spider-Man ends, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, this is how much we think Doomsday is going to make. Keep in mind, if Spider-Man is in Secret Wars, which I'm pretty sure he's going to be, Secret Wars will make more than Doomsday. So Eagle says it's possible we have Spider-Man in Doomsday, but not sure Tom will. Yeah, I mean, that's fair. That's fair. Thank you, Big Fieldy. I appreciate it. You as well. Thank you so much. Hasn't Spider-Man and City Seek already been announced to be in Secret Wars because they're not in Doomsday? Yes. Yeah. But again, until I actually see promotional materials, I don't know if these announcements are true or not, right? I don't know how much of these are real. Because you're saying, oh, because they're not in Doomsday, I don't know. They could still be in Doomsday. It's still possible. I tell you what, putting Spider-Man and Jean in Doomsday together would quite literally blow the minds of people that just saw Spider-Man. Like I'm just saying. Dull Boy says, just wrapped on set directing my first feature film. And I see Eric is live. Let's fucking go. Welcome, Dull Boy. Thank you for hanging out. And congratulations on your project, on your film. Let us know how we can support it. Yeah, I'm sitting here just, it's kind of blowing my mind, really, that we could see the value of Doomsday jump up like fucking crazy. Let me ask you guys this. You tell me, okay? Would you be more excited for Doomsday if they announced that Spider-Man and Jean are in it? Just be honest. If they came out and showed like a scene with Spider-Man and Jean and some other characters in it, would that make your hype level jump specifically for Doomsday? Remy's like, no, I'm already there. I don't need it. Yes. Yeah. Irving says, I saw Spider-Man Brand New Day with my mom and my two sisters in 3D. It was a fantastic experience. There was no 3D showings of it near me. Like, we don't even have an option to watch it in 3D anymore. I don't think I've seen a 3D movie in, oh my God, I don't remember the last time I saw a 3D movie. Glad you had a good time. Yeah. So put it this way, for me, I would get very excited if they announced that Spider-Man and Jean were going to be in Doomsday, but my hype level for Doomsday is already pretty high. And I know that's not what people on the internet want to hear because they want to poo-poo everything. But having a visually accurate Doom, I don't know how Doom is going to act. We know that it's Robert Downey Jr., but having a visually accurate Doom, having Thor as Thor again, bringing back Steve as probably Nomad or some other version of Captain America, all of that has me excited already. Like I'm happy about all of that. And then we have the X-Men coming back from the Fox universe. Not my favorite universe, obviously, but I do like seeing them back and interacting with these other characters. I know a lot of people are lukewarm on the Fantastic Four, but we're getting the Fantastic Four with the Avengers and with the X-Men. I mean, that has to mean something, right? I don't know. Well, Anthony, just think of it this way. Have the Russo brothers ever dropped the ball on a Marvel project? I know they haven't done great outside of Marvel. But if you're somebody that's looking at the odds, have the Russos ever fumbled on a Marvel project? I would say no. I would say they have not. There's some that are better than others, but they've all been good. So the only way the movie could be a mess is if it's something outside of their control. Hey, what's up, Dr. Midnight? How are you doing? So Jaybird, I've said this for years, and I will fight people over this. Infinity War is a better individual Avengers movie, but Endgame is the perfect end cap to that era of Marvel films. I know we got a Spider-Man movie after that. I know we do. Okay. I get it. But yeah, I think for me, Endgame is the perfect end to that whole story, but Infinity War is the better movie. The Hot Toys have the designs. Okay, Brawley. Dr. Midnight becoming a YouTube member. I thought you already were. Maybe you upgraded. I don't know. Anyway, thank you for the support. If you didn't know, if you wanted to become a channel member, I know a lot of people ask me this. They're like, we can't super chat, blah, 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 whatever. Channel memberships, I have them at the lowest setting I can on both channels. And you still, at the lowest setting, you'll still get the badges, the emojis, and early access to most of the content. There is some stuff locked behind the higher tiers, but you get most of the content for that. If you want to support the channel by becoming a channel member, even at the lowest tier, it's always appreciated. Like, again, people have asked me this directly on Discord, and I appreciate, look, I just like you guys being here, but any support you want to give the channel definitely helps. I'll admit I am very nervous about the computer issue, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. Matt says, Infinity War is the better movie, Endgame is a celebration event. That's a good way to put it, Matt. By the way, hello. You're saying hello, I'm saying hello. Says, if I can bring it up on screen, why is it not working? What is going on? There it goes. Why was it not working? There we go. Little hiccup from StreamYard, I guess. It says here, agree, I had a better movie experience with Infinity War because of how shocking it was to see how the villain wins, but those last 20 minutes of Endgame was incredible. Yeah, I think Endgame definitely seals it up at the end, but yeah, for sure. All right, so let's talk about the X-Men in Marvel. Let me pull the article up here. I don't even know if we need an article. It's not a lot of news about it. It's not a lot, but we do have a casting, and I think it's pretty significant. I'm going to give you guys the significance of it when it comes to the X-Men, but then I also want to talk about what we might hear from some of the haters on YouTube with this casting, which I haven't looked into a lot of videos about it yet. I had it bookmarked. Where the hell is it? Oh, here it is, right here. There we go. Oh, somebody jumped in the back. We have Darren in the building.
Hello.
What's up, Darren? How are you doing?
I clicked
Um,
on the stream. I was like, oh, Eric posted a new video. And I clicked on it and I was like, it's live. It's not Thursday. Oh, it is Thursday. I better hop in.
that's okay. We're just talking about well, the only thing we talked about is the Batman Part 2 and Part 3 not filming together.
Oh.
Which
Did
I think
people
they
think
probably
that?
should have. Well, there was some rumors about it online. And then we talked about just how well Spider-Man is doing, and it looks like 3 billion is actually in play at this point because it's probably going to hit 2 billion before the end of the weekend. So,
Yeah.
and we just looked it up. IMAX started today. So like those higher ticket values are going to count towards this weekend's box office. So, pretty incredible stuff. It's funny you started a revolution because now Joe has arrived. It's like so everybody rolled in. What's up?
Where did Darren come
Yeah.
from? Like I looked at you a second ago and you were alone.
I just came
He
in
like literally he just
a
came
minute
in
ago.
before you. So
Yeah.
um so if we get one more person, we might do our top 3 favorite cartoons that are made for adults, or I should say not made for children. Not necessarily made for adults, but not made for children. So we'll do a top 3 of that if we get one more person, but we'll see who else shows up. So the next thing I want to talk about. Oh, before we do that, Joe or Darren, any opinion on the success of Spider-Man right now? It's pretty crazy what's happening with that movie. It's breaking all
Um,
kinds of
I-
records right now.
I think people are being stupid about it, but it's a great movie, you know.
Stupid as in like overhyping it.
Well, I mean, nothing you haven't already talked about. Like I've seen your
Okay,
recent
okay.
videos, but it's like people are acting like this means something, and it's like
I see what you're
it
saying. Yeah,
means
yeah.
people like Spider-Man. That's what it means. It means about the most
Yeah.
popular superhero in the world came out,
Mhm.
and it's a popular franchise where each
Yeah.
of the previous 3 was well liked and well accepted. So it's like
Mhm.
that's all it means. And people are like, "Oh, James Gunn's shaking in his boots now." No, he's not. No, he's not. I mean, if he is, it's not because of this. Maybe something else. I don't know. You know?
Well, the thing. Go ahead, Darren. Say what you're gonna say, and then I'll follow up.
Oh no, like I would agree with all that. Like it's I think there's a lot of things at play. I think when it came out really helped. I think it's Spider-Man. Really helped. I think it's also like people talk about how the last movie almost made 2 billion. We also think that was also 2022. We were still technically in the COVID eras, and people were still
Right.
like that. Like that was the movie that got people out of their homes and to go back into cinemas. Now we are fully out of that era. I mean, like anyone can just go and see a Spider-Man movie now.
Yeah, I made a video today on Reloaded where I was like talking about the idea of superhero fatigue and the conversations around it, and then how a lot of this is being pushed towards the DCU now. All of a sudden, all of the haters love Marvel. Like, I don't know. I guess Marvel's good now. Like, if you would have looked last year, Marvel was bad. So,
Do you remember like when they first started out, like in that 2016, 2017 area? They really wanted, because they were going after Star Wars and it was successful, and they were going after Ghostbusters and it was successful, and they were going after DC and it was successful, and Star Trek. They wanted so badly to go after Marvel, and you could see them testing the waters. Like they would test the waters and put a video out like, can we get Marvel? But it was still so popular that it was like they would constantly retreat. It was like, nope, we
Right.
can't go after Marvel. So it's like I feel like they feel like Marvel was finally ripe, I guess, around the time of Captain Marvel.
well,
Yeah, and
well,
then-
I actually think last year was the best year they had for the anti-Marvel narrative because all 3 of the movies did less than what. Like, I don't think any
Right.
of those movies were billion-dollar movies, but they certainly didn't get to the level where Marvel was happy about it, because I think they wanted them to be. To be honest, probably around 600-700 million would have been the range they would have really loved for those movies to perform at. But that was the best year, the best individual year they've had to go after Marvel. You're right. The Marvels, I think films like that, these one-off movies, did help feed into it. But all of it started happening during COVID. Like prior to
Right.
COVID, most Marvel movies performed decent. Like not all of them were smash hits, but they were decent, right? After COVID is when we start to see that change in viewing habits. And I don't even think that has to do with quality. I think it's just the way people are seeing movies now. I mean, there's a lot of great movies that come out that people ignore in theaters and they just wait for it to come out on streaming, not just superhero movies.
Well, it's like your video today with Slav from
Yeah.
Slav's Free Talk. You know, he's going to point out things and say superhero fatigue, but I pointed out a couple years ago in 2023, everything that hit the box office was failing. Like everything that hit the box office was failing, and everyone had their own narrative. The DC movies were failing, but they were failing because it's not Zack Snyder.
Right.
The Marvel movies were failing. They were failing because Marvel went woke and the audience wasn't accepting it. But if you looked, it wasn't like maybe you could have tried to make your arguments if one thing was failing, but everything was failing. And it's like, okay, okay, Snyder Bros, explain to me why Mission Impossible failed then. Explain to me like why it was a and then but then they would always go, what do you mean everything's failing? Barbie, Oppenheimer, Mario. And I go, the fact that you can name all the hits on one hand proves my point. It doesn't prove your point.
Well, the other thing I want to say is that Marvel tried their experimental phase at the worst time in the market, right? Because all the experimental stuff was happening during the COVID era. Like all of the ideas they had happened when people weren't really going to theaters. So
to be fair,
we don't
couldn't have predicted that though.
No. What I'm saying though is like hypothetically speaking, if the market were still stable, how would those movies have done? We don't know because that market never existed. It was gone when those movies came out. So you have to look at that with a weird lens because to give everybody a perspective here, the box office was sitting between 10.4 and 10.8 billion dollars a year from starting in the 9s in 2010, or I think it was like the 8s in 2010 up till to that point in 2019. And then it fell off a cliff after COVID. And when I say fell off a cliff, that's not hyperbole. It went from like a $10 billion industry to a $2 billion industry.
Yeah.
Right? It hadn't recovered. It still hasn't recovered. Like we're getting close to recovery. I mean, we're like in the 8s and 9s. This year is going to be great for Hollywood. It's going to be one of their best years to date since COVID. Quite possibly the best year because we still have Dune and Doomsday coming out too. So we have two more big movies.
And I'll tell you something. You take like Slav's video where he's like, people aren't just going to go out and see like any rando anymore. Well, after Spider-Man and after the Avengers movies, two back-to-back Avengers movies, is that still going to be the case? Is that going to be the case in 2028 or 2029? I think if Marvel keeps steamrolling the way, like if Spider-Man leads into Avengers, if Avengers is bigger than Spider-Man, and then if they stick the landing, and I think you see the momentum come back again.
Well, also they're creating massive FOMO because they're not putting any movies out next year other than Secret Wars, which means we're going to have Doomsday, we're going to have whatever that ending is, and then we have to wait a whole year to get our next Marvel movie. And that next Marvel movie, as confirmed, has Spider-Man, has Jean Grey, has these big characters in it. So we're talking about quite possibly 2 years with Marvel where they're in the $1 billion range with only one movie.
Yeah.
But it's like, don't you think that like if Marvel keeps steamrolling that way, like if Secret Wars and Doomsday stick the landing, and then they do like a couple safe bets, like a Black Panther or another Doctor Strange.
So
don't you think the audience is then going to be there for another experimental film?
Go ahead, Darren.
I mean, I was just going to add to that. Like, it's rumored the first movie is going to be X-Men. Like, X-Men is a very safe bet.
Mm-hmm.
So,
especially with Jean now that we have Jean in a well-received movie, it's and we're going to talk about the casting here in a second. But I have a feeling that the narrative is going to fall apart when Marvel starts to make things feel a bit more exclusive. Because one of the things I did agree with in Slav's video is that there is a little bit of brand damage between DC and Marvel that they have to sort of deal with. And they would know that internally. Like they would have that information internally. They would know exactly what the demographics are, what the numbers are. They have teams that figure that out. And I actually think some of this adjustment we're seeing now is because it took them a couple of years to figure out what was going on, right? They were dealing with the COVID stuff. They also had a bunch of people sort of in limbo, characters in limbo. And so now we know we've got, Doomsday coming out. We have Secret Wars coming out. We have a Ghost Rider movie, which, by the way, is probably going to be a very small budget. I'm going to put Ghost Rider somewhere in like the 100, maybe 125 million price range. I mean, it could go up. Look, I believe that the value of Ghost Rider changes depending on how Starfighter is perceived, right? If Starfighter comes out and it's like a home run for them, then that movie is probably going to the value of that team is going to increase the success of that movie.
I don't know though. I think if Marvel learns their lesson, it should be a lower budget. But also last year we had a 200 million Captain America movie and a 200 million Thunderbolts movie. Movies that should not have been that budget, but like those should have had much smaller budget. So
Captain America had issues though. Like I don't think Captain America would have had that budget.
It didn't start. No, it didn't start out of that. They reshot an entire act of that movie,
right.
So that was a lot.
You are
of money,
100% right. Yeah,
I think the original budget
Ghost Rider will also have those issues.
Well, I would say the only reason why I don't think they will is because that team seems to work well together. And
I would agree with that. I would agree with that. Yeah.
What's up, Jake?
What's up? How's everybody doing?
Pretty good. So since we have 4 people here and we don't have a lot to talk about tonight on the second hour, I thought we'd do one of our lists. So our list is going to be, we're going to do at least one, which is top 3 favorite cartoons not made for kids. So it doesn't have to exclusively be like a mature cartoon, but not Cocomelon. You know what I'm saying? Like things that aren't that, essentially. So
I mean, that had news today. That's crazy.
I know they got the Coco. Was it a movie or game or something?
It's a movie, yeah.
Yeah.
Did you do trailers after I left on Tuesday? Did you do trailers?
I don't think we did any trailers. No.
Okay.
Is there a trailer you want to watch?
Have you watched the trailer for Violent Night 2?
No, I have not.
It looks amazing.
Okay, we'll check that out. Look, by the way, guys, we are doing. We did 10 super chats tonight. We're at 5 already in Reloaded. And I did 10 because people were like, you always get to 10 anyway, just make it the goal. I was like, okay. So we're doing 10 super chats as the goal. If we reach that, we will do 2 things on this list for sure. And I'm going to name off the list right now. Top 3 best X-Men ever. All right.
Ooh.
Top 3 worst X-Men ever. Top 3 favorite Spider-Man villains across all media. Or top 3 favorite redhead characters from all media.
That last one's definitely not topical.
So there we go. We need 5 more super chats of any tier in Reloaded to do this. And if we happen to hit the super chat goal in Debunks, we'll do 3 of these. Nice. All right. So the original budget, I just wanted to look this up before we actually got into this. The original budget for the Captain America movie was $170.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's not too bad. That's not too
Yeah. It was $170. It went up to $180 for a little bit of the reshoots, but then it ballooned to $275 after the third act was filmed. So
is that
actually,
is that counting or not counting marketing?
It's not. So the movie actually went higher. I didn't realize this. They had to add in a couple of characters, which meant new actors and like redoing some of the earlier stuff. The actual budget of that movie was $375 at the end.
Yep.
Without marketing.
Yeah.
Because a lot of your plot scenes are given to a reshot character that got added in a year after principal photography was done. So
yeah. Yep. All right, we're going to move the widget over because we're going to talk X-Men for a minute. So,
but also I'll just say this: just because Sam's first movie as Captain America didn't do good, doesn't mean he's getting sidelined. So everybody's saying, "Oh, Sam is getting sidelined for Steve in these Avengers movies." Get fucked. Sorry.
I want to wait till we see Doomsday before I make that decision. Like if they give him a good story in Doomsday and I feel like they're treating him right, I'll be like, yeah, okay, that's fair. But if they kind of just make him disappear, I'm going to be really, really annoyed.
I'm just saying, like, there's no evidence to say that he's getting sidelined for Steve, because in what frame of that trailer do you see Steve wearing a Captain America suit?
I think
Yes,
he'll
but
still
he's-
put on a suit. I don't know if it'll
It's
be the
still the
exact
main
Captain
part of the
America suit.
marketing. Like,
Yeah.
all the marketing has been Steve, and there's been very little Sam.
Have we? So I will say, have we seen one Sam centric clip for that marketing? Zero.
There's like
But
one shot of
we
him.
have 5 months though, so I'm gonna wait and
I
see
mean,
what
They
happens.
gave Steve an
in those
entire trailer, like 4 months ago.
I mean, if you look at that trailer on its own, independent of like the little bits we got back in December, if you, I know this sounds like a lot of work, but if you like add up all their seconds, they got relatively the same amount of exposure in that trailer, if not Sam having more, because Steve only showed up at the very end of that trailer.
Darren, are you gonna any response to that? Because you're the one that mentioned it.
We can move on, but I don't think I.
Okay. Okay. All right. Fair enough. So this has been confirmed through Deadline and Hollywood Reporter now. Kit Connor is going to be playing Scott Summers alongside Sadie Sink. And this pretty much confirms to me that we are getting the young X-Men. So this is like a very young cast. Emma Frost, Samara is in her 30s. I think she's 34. I think she's like 34, 35.
Yeah,
she's the oldest character that we have heard other than Professor X and Magneto, like the oldest actor playing a character other than Professor X. So just for the record, you might know Kit. I say most people probably know him from Heartstopper, right? Is playing Nick in Heartstopper, right?
Yes.
So he's in that show. And Kit plays a bisexual character and is bisexual in real life and isn't like hiding it, or it's not a speculation. He's open about it. I suspect that will probably be something that the hate channels.
They already have.
Oh, they have. I haven't seen it yet, so they're like latching onto it or whatever.
A lot of the commentary is that he looks weak and he doesn't look strong enough to be playing Cyclops.
That's stupid.
You know who would look really strong is Cyclops as that guy. He looks strong, man.
I'm gonna say right now, this is a good casting to me. I can see Kit in this role. I think he has the ability to pull it off. If you saw him in Heartstopper, he's definitely talented enough to pull off an emotional storyline with a character. So I think that's fine. Does that mean Scott Summers is going to be bisexual in the X-Men? Probably not. I would say no, but I mean, they can do anything they want at this point, but I don't see that being a thing. I know a lot of the hate channels and the flop watchers and all those guys want to believe that we're going to get a bisexual. Look, I'm on board though. Like if you want to make Scott bisexual, like
I feel like there's a
good with
line,
me, but I just don't think I don't think that's a rational assumption, right? Right.
Although I feel like in the comics they ride that line with him.
They do with Wolverine.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely.
There's a line and he rides.
Right. Like Serenity says it, right. So the Logan, Scott, Jean, Thruple, and Krakoa. Yes, that's what I was thinking of when I mentioned that.
I was about to say, Darren, there are other things that he rides too in the comics.
Yeah. Now, just your casual viewer says, wouldn't it be weird if Emma is that much older than Jean Grey and Cyclops? Well, if she is that old, you got to remember she might not be playing a character.
Just because Samara Weaving is 34 doesn't mean Emma Frost is 34. Like Hugh Jackman was 26, he was playing a 200-year-old. So
we also I also think it's incredibly likely they just don't do the love triangle route. Like you can do Emma Frost and not have them be in a relationship with Scott. Like she can be. I don't know, like there are
that's one of like 100 Emma Frost stories with the X-Men. So like,
I actually could see we may have talked about this last week. I think Emma might be the villain of the first X-Men movie because I think the fact that she was the first announced. I feel like we oftentimes see that where like who's often the first two people announced, the main protagonist and the villain.
I think there's going to be a couple things going on in the first movie. We can speculate. That's what I wanted to talk about today, honestly, with this announcement is I think what we're going to see, like, obviously, I hope that we cover the Jean stuff from Spider-Man, right? I want to see that, but I don't want the whole movie to be that. Like, I don't think that should be the whole movie, right? I think we have a lot of characters and we need to address some stuff. I think we're going to see the government as a quote unquote villain against mutants in the first movie. I think Emma's going to be an antagonist, borderlining on villain in the movie because she's obviously going to fight back against the government trying to come after mutants in a way that the X-Men will not. And I think we're going to see the establishment. I think we might actually not even have the school in the first movie. I think the first movie might be the characters getting like Professor X has the mansion, right? Like the mansion exists and he's there, but he just kind of brings the kids together to give them a place to go. And then the idea for the school happens in the movie. Like I think that might be what we get in this. And this is again is not knowing what's going to happen in Secret Wars. We have no idea what that looks like. But that would be my pitch for a first movie, in my opinion. Anybody else have any ideas about what it might be? Or
yeah, I would like to see the foundation of the X-Men. I know we had First Class, but I feel like First Class was a very different foundation. And I think it'd be fun to see a proper foundation with Scott and Jean kind of at the front of the school and stuff like that. So we'll see. And
do you want the school to exist prior to this, or would you be okay with the building of the school itself after they meet? Like, what would you rather?
I could see it going either way.
Okay.
I could. Yeah, I don't know. I guess it depends how much history they want to build into this new world. Coming off of Secret Wars. Was it?
I said this brave new world.
On this brand new day.
Joe, what do you think about this? You have an issue? Have you seen Heartstopper? Do you know anything about Kit? Or
I've never heard of Heartstopper before. I did.
He was also in Rocket Man in 2019. He played the young Elton John in Rocket Man.
You know what they're going to use, Eric? I just thought about this. He played Romeo in a adaptation of Romeo and Juliet with Rachel Zegler. They're gonna use that. They're gonna be
it's gonna be thumbnails everywhere. He played the young Elton John in the Rocket Man movie. He was in His Dark Materials, and
Wait, so what, Darren? Are you saying Rachel Zegler needs to be Psylocke?
You know what? Just to piss them off, sure.
I'll watch her in anything. She's always good.
I love Rachel Zegler. Oh yeah.
Do you?
He was in Ready Player One. I forgot about that, Lone Wolf.
Oh, okay.
Do you think Miss Marvel's going to be in the X-Men?
No.
They hinted very heavily at it on the Miss Marvel TV show.
I've got something to.
I don't think she's
saying the word mutant doesn't mean she'll be an X-Men.
Inform you something.
The word mutant. They played the X-Men theme song.
I think Miss Marvel is bye-bye.
Really?
Why is that?
Why?
I think they're going to streamline the stuff and remove a lot of the show characters that they don't find profitable. Like, I don't mean bye-bye like she might be dead. I mean, like, we just might not see her in anything else. They might.
I can't see that. She was so well received.
She was in one of their biggest film bombs of all the MCU movies.
Yeah, but
I think
everybody
casuals
loved her
love the actress though. Like I think most people would agree, even if they don't like the show or the movie, that her as an actress and her in the MCU should be seen more of. I think they're going to give Champions a shot. I think they got one shot on Champions as a movie, probably.
I have a bad feeling, and it's just because like success doesn't mean anything. They just canceled season 2 of Wonder Man when it's been nominated for awards. So I think they're just over the TV stuff in the sense that the Netflix stuff will be prioritized, the animated stuff will be prioritized, and that's it. That's what I think. So unless Ms. Marvel is going to be in a movie, I don't think we're going to see her again. So, okay, look, if they put her in Doomsday and they don't show her getting killed off, I feel more comfortable about the Champions and Young Avengers. If she's in Doomsday and dies, or if even worse, if she's not in Doomsday at all, like if we don't even see her, then that's not good, right? That's not a good thing.
That's shaping up to be one long ass movie.
Well, I mean, the thing is that they have to figure out what they're going to do with these characters. Like, we have the X-Men coming. I actually think a young X-Men team spells bad news for a young Avengers team, to be quite honest. I don't think they want to balance 2 like young adult teams in Marvel when they have the Avengers. I think the X-Men is going to be their young team and the Avengers is going to be the older team. I don't think there's any room for young Avengers or champions. I could be wrong. I would like to be wrong. I like a lot of those characters. I like, Hawkeye and Ms. Marvel and
America.
Wiccan. Yeah, America Chavez and Wiccan. I like all those characters.
Ironheart.
America Chavez is also somebody else that I think if she's not in Doomsday, it's a big missed opportunity.
Yeah.
Has to be.
So Lone Wolf, good to see you. Kate Bishop I think she's gone. I think anything that happened in the
Haley
TV
Steinfeld?
side.
After
Yeah.
Sinners, Eric?
Yeah, I do. The only reason why is they could have done another season already.
Well, you know why they didn't do another Hawkeye season.
Well, no, they could have done one with just her. Who cares about Jeremy Renner? Like, I'll be honest. She was established as her own individual character at the end of that first season. Just make her do a show with her. Like, I get what you're saying. Like, Jeremy Renner, they probably wanted him to come back because he has brand recognition. And when I say who cares about it, I don't mean that he's not a good actor or that I didn't want to see him. I just feel like holding her back from a show tells me that they're not confident in her as a superhero. If they were, they would have just done a show with her and nobody else. Especially after that first season, which I think is really good. Do y'all like the Hawkeye TV show? I thought the first season was really
the
good.
Hawkeye
Yeah, it's
show.
fun.
Yeah.
I don't think we're going to be seeing more TV shows, though. I think TV's done.
I think we'll get Daredevil, and I think if the Defender stuff is well received, then we might see some of that. But there's news though, Joe. Hold on to that. We're going to talk about that in a second. There is some news about next year that we're going to talk about.
They need to do more
The
special
rumors?
presentations.
Rumors, but I feel like we'll find out at D23, which is why I think it's actually coming up. Lance is in the house.
Get in here, Lance. Come on.
Get in here, buddy.
So, all right, we got a few super chats here. Frodo Cop dropping in with a $1.99 super chat saying hello. Hello, Frodo Cop.
Yay.
Eaton here with a $7.99 Aussie. I think that's Aussie. I think that's Australia. Hey, Eric, can't stay. God, what is wrong today? I was like, am I too
Words
high?
are hard, Eric.
Can't stay, but just wanted to drop in live for a change. Anyway, I'll catch you on the rewatch. Well, you're watching this on the rewatch. Hello, and thank you for the super chat, and thank you for being a channel member. Cody here with a $5 super chat says, if they're going to do if they're going the evolution route, Wolverine could be an authority figure. Honestly, they could do X-23. I'd love to see her come back, bring Laura back, because I know she doesn't like going by X-23. So bring Laura back, and have Wolverine as the mentor. I'm okay with that. Have Hugh Jackman as the mentor. I'm okay with that. I have no problem with that.
It's just always going to be Hugh Jackman.
I mean, does anybody look? To be quite honest, I think the general public would just accept him as Wolverine in the MCU. I know that's not everybody's favorite answer, but I do think that he was part of a $1 billion+ movie that came out for Marvel. Like, I think he's shown that he can make money in the right properties.
Sure, but for how long?
Till he's 90.
Well, no. I mean, like eventually he would go on, and then Laura would just be Wolverine in the MCU. That's what I'm saying. Like she would just end up being that character.
I just think there's so much like story potential they have with a younger Wolverine that they can.
I'm not saying that's what I want. I'm making an argument for what they could do.
I
I would much prefer a recast. Yeah, I would much prefer a recast.
For Wolverine, yeah, and like it would be weird to see, like especially if they brought Daphne back as Laura, it'd be weird to see her paired with a different Wolverine. But there's still, I think, so much she has to do as that character.
I just feel like we're in a weird spot where we have two good characters playing, or two good actors playing characters that could fill that role, and one of them is so old that he probably doesn't want to keep acting as this character for another 15 years, right? And then you have someone who is another character entirely that could technically, I guess, exist beside a younger Wolverine, but that changes up the dynamic of her as a character as well. So I don't know what they're going to do. I think they get rid of both of them. They keep them both, or they get rid of them both. I think that's what's going to happen.
I definitely agree with that. Yeah.
Have you seen the people that are saying Indy should play Laura next?
I don't have a problem with that, but I think that Laura's a way off though. Like if they're doing this younger X-Men team, Laura can't be part of the picture for.
I mean, Wolverine's always
years. No, I know, but I'm saying like we can't have her the same age as like Jean and Scott and
How
stuff.
old
Like, that
is-
doesn't make any sense.
No, I'm not saying that, but
How old is Hugh Jackman? How old is
Like,
he currently?
57.
Yeah. So he would be in his 70s playing Wolverine if he went. Because think about this, they're probably going to do a trilogy of X-Men movies, right? Each movie's probably going to come out 2 to 3 years apart from each other, which means that we're talking about like 12 to 15 years of commitment from him.
I know you can do the like evolution thing, and I think that's fine. But doing like 22 Jean Grey and 22 like Scott Summers, and then we just have like 80-year-old Hugh Jackman wobbling around. I want someone.
To be fair, we've got Patrick Stewart and Ian McKellen as well. They're still.
Okay.
And then you've also got people like Kelsey Grammer and Alan Cumming that are in their 60s. So
Yeah, but again, they're supposed to be older versions of these. I don't know. I feel like we've never truly got, except for like Deadpool and Wolverine, got Wolverine. Like, I want someone that could be like, okay, this is mine. We don't got to deal with multiple timelines and all this history. Just fresh start for basically everybody in
Right.
in the X-Men world. Like I don't want to do it like a James Gunn thing where like, oh, we're taking this person from here and this person from here. No, fresh everybody. Everyone's fresh,
Yep.
everyone's new. As much as I love Laura, she's great. The only person I'm okay keeping
Deadpool.
is Deadpool, because that makes sense. Like he can work in like, oh, this is a new cat, whatever, bullshit, whatever.
I would have said Laura a few years ago, but I feel like just too much time is passing by now.
I mean, isn't she?
She's like 20. She's like 23, 24, I think.
Okay.
Actually,
okay.
no. She's younger than that. Hold on.
Okay. So
I think they should have just brought the cast of Apocalypse and Dark Phoenix back and said they got merged into the new universe.
You mean the first class group of them, like that?
Yeah, but
group,
like
or...
they introduced more of them in Apocalypse and
yeah,
Dark
you're talking about like
Phoenix
Psylocke and
Storm
Storm and
yeah.
all those. Yeah.
I feel like it's
21.
like you had they were really well cast, and you're kind of throwing the baby out with the bathwater, and it's just cleaner. It's like a cleaner thing if you just bring them in and say, well, any inconsistencies are because of timey-wimey, wibbly-wobbly, and I don't know. It just seems like it's cleaner that way.
So I looked it
I
up,
feel
and
like they're kind of
Daphne's.
messing it up.
So Daphne's 21. I just looked at it.
Okay. Fair enough.
So Andy Serkis actually said in an interview that he was looking forward to seeing Aman Vellani in Avengers Doomsday. And I don't know if that was true or false.
That was a couple months ago.
Come on, why would the director of the big hit Venom movie? Kidding, but no.
Yeah. When asked about Doomsday, Vellani mentioned that she has heard a bit about the film, what it's going to look like through her conversations with Simu. I'm excited. It's going to be ridiculous. Again, we know that there are some characters they have not shown us yet for some reason or another.
We know Cassie's in there.
Yeah.
Haley Steinfeld has retweet certain things in the past about Doomsday. She's rumored like
she was also in. She landed in San Diego right as soon as the Hall H Comic Con stuff was happening.
Yeah.
So
at one point in time, Demique also said that she was in. Who plays Ironheart had also said that she's in Doomsday.
If they show up in Doomsday and they don't get like blown out of existence, my thoughts on them coming back go through the roof. Like I feel like it gets much higher.
I think that's the post-credit scene. I really do.
Okay.
I think all our heroes are in Battle World, and we gotta regroup who's left. And I think that might be our champions.
Hell, why not bring back like Eli Bradley from Falcon and the Winter Soldier, turn him into Patriot? I'm just saying you can do it.
We have our friend Ronan in the house. Ronan hasn't been here in a minute.
What's up, boys? I know, dude. My bad, dude. I'm just like with this the amount of shit to cover and edit. I'm just like, god damn. And so I'm like, right now, I deliberately be like, all right, I just recorded 2 hours of anime. I think I'll take a break, do a stream, and then I'll come back to another 2 or 3 hours of editing.
Glad to have you here. Connor with a $5 super chat, which brings us to 7 out of 10. We're only 3 away. Ms. Marvel probably won't reappear until Secret Wars. I mean, if Ms. Marvel is in either one of these Avenger movies, I feel like that gives me much more faith that we will see the Young Avengers, or at least some of the Young Avengers, come back post Secret Wars. But we know that they're trying to streamline the MCU. Let me ask you a question. Do you think that having Avengers, Young Avengers, New Avengers, and the X-Men all being juggled, is that not streamlining? Is that too
Yeah.
confusing for viewers?
I don't think so.
I mean,
I think
you're still going to have other things existing alongside that, like the FF too. So keep that in mind.
I think
Yeah.
having a bunch of teams is easier for people to comprehend than like,
Yeah.
here's a bunch of solo projects and then trying to connect them all. Like,
Yep.
so
I think you hit the nail on the head there, Darren.
We did already see Catherine Newton in one of the trailers. So like, all right, she's in it some capacity. So like that's an in right there.
Hmm.
Problem with the
I
Young
would-
Avengers is none of them are going to be young anymore.
I know
Because
that's why the champions
Champions,
might
bro.
end up being yeah,
That was called
champions might be the
Champions.
names of them. So I think they did want to do a young look. I'm fully in the park that they did want to do Young Avengers, but it just never materialized. That's what I
Yeah.
think. I think there was
Yeah.
a concept there because they
There
went
was
through
an
and
idea.
introduced a lot of these characters and it just never
Again,
To
No.
put together
They
a
got-
group of
they got hit with the COVIDs, they got hit with the writer strike back to back, and they just couldn't get them all in a room
Yeah.
together.
And then it didn't help that after the Jonathan Majors thing went down, they had to do a hard pivot.
we got a Jonathan Majors update we're going to look at here in a
So
second.
Yeah,
about
we
this.
do.
What happened?
We're going to look at it immediately after we finish these super chats, so don't worry.
Oh,
Saw a
Um,
tweet that was like, "I'm done with this bullshit." I was like, "What did he do now?"
yeah, we're gonna look at it. We're not gonna spend a lot of time on it, but I do want to bring it up.
Yeah.
God.
You said
Thank you
you're-
for the super chat, Connor. Go ahead.
You said you were looking into a game later tonight, right?
Yes, we're gonna do. I mentioned it already, didn't I?
I-
Top 3
favorite-
cartoons not made for kids.
Okay, I didn't know.
That was
I didn't
one.
know if I was here yet. Sorry.
Yeah. It's top your
bad.
top 3 favorite cartoons not intended for kids. So it doesn't have to be TVMA, but it can't be like Paw Patrol or Cocomelon or anything like that. Like we're talking about stuff that like young adults and adults would watch. Cameron with the $2 super chat says, Eric, don't forget the topics I sent you. I didn't. I'm gonna look through them and we're gonna do some of them tonight for sure.
Did you get that thing I sent you?
Wait. Do you have it loaded down here?
No, it's from Harvey Birdman, attorney at law. Did you get that thing I sent you?
Oh, went right over my head. Cody here with the $5 super chat. The rumor is that the champions Young Avengers go to the quantum realm.
Can we be
Ooh.
done with the quantum realm, please? I'm kind of
dance,
sick of
man.
trying to think of the context of that.
ants.
I would be kind of sick though
Ants.
to see some of those characters down there.
I'm just
I'd
thinking about it.
watch an
Bill
entire
Murray?
Quantum Realm series.
Oh God, I still can't believe that out of every comic book movie you would get Bill Murray and it's that one.
Yeah,
I'm surprised he even said yes.
I
they
mean,
wasted a bunch of people
because-
in that movie.
because
I love
believe
that
it-
movie so
believe,
much.
Believe it or not, he was considered for Batman back in the day. Thank God that didn't happen.
Ew.
Ew. Oh, you just said Ronan. Ew.
Yeah, like at that
Garfield.
point, just get him Richard's ass at that point. I'm like, nah.
We got Garfield, bro. Come on.
Yeah, lasagna man.
Yeah, man, Scrooged.
By the way, we hit the goal, so that means we're doing 2 of the things on the list. So we hit the goal.
Nice.
So 2 of those. So
Ooh.
thank you guys so much. We got a $5 super chat from Serenity. Suggestion for Disney Plus: focus on special presentations for live action and Marvel Rising for animated one shots. Example: animated Cloak and Dagger. I'm totally down for that.
I've been saying this since World by Night came out. I'm like, do less shows and do more Marvel specials.
Yep.
Like, that is the way to do it. That way you don't have
Well-
to panic about like put so much money into it. Like, no, do a special. You focus on a character, and if people like certain characters, you put them together in a group.
And it's cheaper. You're basically making 1 episode of TV versus 8.
Yeah.
I'm
Cheaper.
so down for more like Elseworld animated stuff, especially if
And
it's as good
Seren-
as X-Men and
Yeah,
Spider-Man have
yeah.
been. Yeah.
Serenity and everybody hold on to this thought because the very next thing we talk about after Jonathan Majors is kind of about this. So here we go. This is the Jonathan Majors stuff for everybody who didn't see this. So the movie that he was filming that had all that controversy last year, I think, is a Daily Wire movie.
Yep.
It's a Ben Shapiro film. Run, Hide, Fight Infidels.
Oh no.
It follows a Delta Force veteran who fights back after radical Islamic terrorists seize a college pro-Palestine encampment and establish a violent makeshift caliphate. So,
Jonathan.
And like that, he's re-canceled.
I
Like
just
King?
can't.
Kang fucked up another universe. Like, come on, man.
That's the thing about a pattern. It always ends the same.
So the crazy thing about this is that a lot of the people that argue about superhero movies and stuff like that, they don't want anything that feels like it's coded around like ideology and messaging. And then these movies come out where it's like this movie exists to push some sort of narrative. Like that's the whole point of the movie. Like you read that description, quite literally, it doesn't even matter what the script is.
It's
like
it's fascinating seeing the turn of events for this guy, because before the controversy went out, like we were all going like, wow, a new talented guy, like going up in the rise, and he's being African American, like, oh my gosh, he got Kang, he's doing all this still cool stuff, like where is he going? And then whoop, shit hit the fan. And then now shit's continuing to hit the fan. It's like, come on, man. Like at this point, he should have just gone on retreat or gone and like be a professor of acting or whatever. Like, may have you like something like that. But like, I don't know. This is, I don't know.
This is a movie the Deep would star in the Boys universe. Like this is, they made movies like this all the time. This is like a Vought, like a Vought production propaganda movie. Like.
Yeah, it's like you could tell the desperation when people like who either are canceled or who are not that beloved in pop culture and entertainment, they quote unquote run to studio this, they hide in it, and then they try to fight their way out of it by putting out and being part of these productions. Like, come on, man! Like, it's like why are you messing with this crowd? It's not. It's just adding more gas to the fire.
Well, let's jump over to something completely different because I don't really want to sit around and talk about Jonathan Majors. Like, I feel like this is him falling into irrelevancy, and let's just we'll just let it happen. I guess
he's more Kang the Conqueror now. I guess I don't know.
So, talking about what Serenity super chatted and what we were talking about, it looks like right now, because we do have some D23 stuff coming out around the corner. I think a lot of these leaks are coming from people connected to the D23 stuff.
Yeah.
So it says Marvel Studios is reportedly developing 2 special presentations for 2027. One will reportedly focus on a solo character. The other is expected to center on a team. Now, this is going to happen next year when there's no movies.
I was about to say, yeah.
Well, I mean,
there's
one movie at least.
Well, yeah. I mean, like, no movies coming out throughout the year. So this will be, like, in the middle of the year, probably, like, the beginning, summer, or fall before that. Thoughts on this? Like, let's hypothetically say this is true, right? We're just going to say this is, hypothetically, this is a real thing, and we're going to find out about it at D23. What are we thinking about this?
I think that would definitely make us fans feel better, because I know you kind of had a problem, Eric, with, like, an entire year without no movies. I think this definitely softens that a little bit. And very reasonable too, especially if they start filming these relatively soon. Like Jake said, I think Jake said, it's like an episode of a TV show, so they can easily get something like this filmed very quickly.
Yep. One and done.
And especially if if like people's problems is like there's not enough setup for Doomsday, these could maybe be set up for Doomsday. Like you could get two special presentations out on things that weren't developed enough. I'd be like, oh, here's a little thing right here for you guys.
So what would that be then?
Okay,
I don't know.
So you want me to toss something crazy out?
I got a few, but yeah, go ahead.
Wild and crazy. A Doctor Strange special presentation that fixes him not being there and gets him set up for the next movie before we get to it. Like, they could do something like that for him, and the team thing could be champions.
I know the story that I would want to do with Strange in regards to MCU right now. It's just not going to happen.
I think they could do the story with him going into the dark dimension and tie that up before his third movie.
Probably, yeah.
What are the rules for Hulk on television? We know they can't make a Hulk movie without Universal being involved.
They can have him because he was in She-Hulk. They can use him. Yeah, on TV.
but he was a side character.
Well, they can't do a Hulk TV show, I don't think.
I mean, could they do a Hulk special? Would that circumvent it because it wasn't released theatrically?
I think anything with like
I'm gonna check
Hulk
now.
as the main character you can't do. Like he has to be like a supporting.
I don't think he can be a leading character.
Yeah. We need to trick the system. Like, do a show that's called like New.
No. No.
Nanner.
Disney
I don't
Marvel
know.
Studios owns the TV rights to the Hulk.
So
Universal
if
Pictures
they-
it has exclusive theatrical rights only. They don't own the rights to the Hulk on TV.
So,
So just-
Universal's probably very happy right now with the money Spider-Man's been making. They're going to get a cut of that too.
So just redo the 70s TV show. Just get Mark Ruffalo on the road, take him down to town,
do,
have him hook out, and boom.
Bring in Lou Ferrigno as a consultant.
what if
Yeah.
they make, like an animated show that is like canon to like the MCU? It's like
And have Mark
Yeah.
Ruffalo
canon.
voice it. Like have him
Yeah,
do the voice.
you
And-
can do
I
that.
can see that.
That'd be a
And
bad
you know what?
idea.
You know what? There's already a lot of Fred Tatascia's Hulk roars that they've had in
Secret
stock over the
Invasion.
years. They've had a lot of his roars in stock over the years, so they could just pull some of those back out.
Where's Fury? Y'all remember Secret Invasion?
We don't talk about that. We don't talk about that.
Nope, Eric, that never happened.
Okay, I have a theory.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm seeing one's supposed to be a team. Is this how we get Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. back, guys? Bring back the team from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Oh my
Oh my
god.
Crazy
Somebody-
guys, let's go.
Somebody take a shot. Darren brought up Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Chloe Bennett coming back.
Bobby Reyes.
I will say this: if she comes out or anybody else from Agents comes out, I will instantly think of Darren and him probably flipping out at home or at work, whatever. Like, oh my gosh, they're doing it. Yeah, I think. I mean, Feige said as much that like D23 is gonna be all TV stuff. So like, I think they could finally put to rest if Nova's gonna be a thing or not. If Giacchino's gonna come back to direct something, whether it be Werewolf by Night 2 or a new project, which I hope he does continue doing that. Yeah.
Me
One
how,
of these being werewolf.
give me
Yeah.
Howard Commandos, man. Like you've already got Werewolf and you've already got Man Thing. Just give me the Living Mummy. Come on.
Would that work?
Yeah, like, again, there's so much more they can do with specials, and like dare I even say like they could do something like more horror-esque, if you will, like lean into it and be like, all right, we've done Moon Knight, we're gonna do Ghost Rider, we've done Werewolf by Night, like what's something else we can do to bring in that horror element to it? And maybe you can do a surprise cameo of Doctor Strange at the end and be like, you know, I gotta go fix something here, and he's with Clea, if you will. So I don't know.
Okay, so we're getting. When are we getting the Endgame thing? Is that September?
September.
Listen, for years people wanted a special about Steve bringing back the stones. If they were going to do it, now would be the time, right? They could easily be like, all right, here's a little special from doing all the stone things. It's not.
But I got a
like
feeling that's gonna be the
mandatory.
extra footage. I'm pretty sure it's gonna be the extra footage they're gonna show if they do end up doing that.
Maybe.
Yeah, that would probably be it.
We'll see.
I mean, to me, and I think it's way too early for them to do this character right now. Especially, I think you have to wait till post Secret Wars to make an announcement. Is what I've been thinking about about this character, and I know Kojandra made a big video about it. Like if you want to do Wolverine, you do it as a show. You play out his years. You do Patch. You do all these sites, and then once you already have a team in place, you have an X-Men group in place.
Mhm.
Then down the line, you could integrate them. But like, I don't know. There's ways to bring in characters like that into these specials. I mean, hell.
So just to quickly jump in, this was sent over. I'll let you talk in a second, but this was just sent over. I think I want to give credit to Cameron. I think Cameron shared this, but I guess over in Variety they confirmed the X-Men reboot film will be in 2028. So like you were saying, Darren, it's probably in the batch of those 3 films they're going to get in 2028, which is
It's either
this
May or July.
Ghost Rider.
because they
Yeah,
have two
this
dates.
Ghost Rider and Black Panther 3. So
There was also another. I think it came from Variety that said it was going to be the first movie post Secret Wars, and if that's true,
there's a community note. Let's see what it says.
Oh, let's see. Marvel Studios is not officially confirmed.
It's an unconfirmed insider report that's linked to the Variety article.
No.
Okay, that's fair. But say it's true. This does sort of lean into the idea that we're going to get a kickoff after Secret Wars right into the X-Men if this happens.
And again, like I don't know about you guys, how you feel about this, but like
Yeah.
again, it's the same thing I had with Endgame. Like, no, after the big hoorah, take a year off, take a year or 2 off, and then you come back with that. Like if you immediately go through Secret Wars and go into X-Men, I have a feeling that like, I know how popular and how strong the X-Men are. It's like I have a feeling that like that sense of like, oh, goodbye-ness to the multiverse and all this stuff, it'll just still carry on into the X-Men, and I don't want them to get that, because that's one thing that I do think that did rock the boat for the MCU is like after Endgame, you immediately went to another movie instead of taking a pause and letting that settle in.
Which I could have gotten. I could have gotten like going to Far From Home, because that was kind of like your Endgame epilogue, but like they had time to do a break in there. It was in the middle of a pandemic. They could have taken some of that time to just decompress.
Yeah.
Which is why I kind of wish Ghost Rider is the first, because I think Ghost Rider is a more like chiller kind of going into like, you know, coming off of Secret Wars, where I think if it's X-Men, you're gonna have 3 massive team up movies back to back to back. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which is a lot. So
well, right now, according to what I can find, it looks like obviously December 15th, 2028 is the Black Panther 3 movie. It's been announced. It looks like right now one of the dates that is held is July 28th, which people believe is going to be the Ghost Rider movie. And the other held date is May 5th, which is the one that's suspected to be the X-Men movie.
Yeah. Yep. I think we're learning next Thursday, next Friday. I think all this X-Men stuff coming out right now, it does make me believe that they got stuff to share.
Wait, when is D23?
Yeah. Which again, it'll be weird. Like you really chose D23 to show the X-Men instead of Comic-Con. Like you would think,
but
Comic-Con is a place to show the X-Men. I think.
But Ronan, I think they had to have Spider-Man come out first.
True.
Yeah,
true. Has everybody here seen it?
Yeah, I think so.
Everybody saw it? Okay, so if I yell Gene, nobody's gonna freak out. Okay.
Max.
It's been a week. It's been a week. We're fine.
Yeah. I'm no longer doing spoilers because of that. So
what the?
Did anyone hear
I was setting a reminder for myself. That's why Dr. Midnight here says, since you like this channel, check out channels from the other stream co-hosts. Each one has an interesting, unique channel. Thank you, Dr. Midnight.
Thank you. That's nice kind of you. Thank you.
Oh, that Eric had his own like Eevee interface for a second there.
I mean, you could say it's my phone, but we also have, let me flip through here. These are all topics from the suggestion tab. By the way, Cameron does this. Stranger does this. A lot of people participate in that channel. Lone Wolf does from time to time. Go over to the Nerdcast suggestion tab in the Discord, and you can drop things if you want us to talk about them. Says here that this was from the 6th, so yesterday. James Gunn says Blue Beetle animated series is still in active development. So, what do we think? True, false?
You know what, man? I want Cholo Maridueña to have his time to shine more with his character. The way stuff has been, going around, in and out, changing and shifting, and then there's the Paramount one of those things. Besides Man of Tomorrow and Batman Part 2, I'm going to wait till I actually hear the confirmations from either DC Studios or the creative behind it, like, oh, we are doing this before I buy all that stuff. Because again, most of the stuff now I take it into rumors. Like so much stuff has been changing. Shows have not been, coming about. Like I think it was yesterday during his birthday, he put up a photo of Amanda Waller, and I thought we were gonna get an update on the Waller show. Like, nope, just like I share a birthday with the character. Like, all right, cool. But
I don't think that show's happening anymore.
Yeah,
he said yesterday it is.
Yeah,
he says a lot of things.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't know. This one, even with him confirming this, is like, is this real? I don't know. I want to point out here, we were talking about the merger. So this was also dropped in there. This is from yesterday. So Joe Flint is a Wall Street Journal reporter. He says here, Warner CEO David Zaslav indicated company remains confident in deal with Paramount closing. I want to point out that he sold the remainder of his shares. So that shows low confidence. But this is what he's saying. However, it says high-paid executives hired in anticipation of Warner splitting into 2 companies remain on payroll. They're still paying the team members that were put in place for Discovery and Warner to split. They're still paying those people. So that doesn't feel confident to me. Also, this here, Sam Neill's final film will officially be The Legend of Zelda.
I saw that. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't realize this.
Zelda's
Would you-
father.
I don't think we know
They-
yet.
So they've already finished filming Legend of Zelda?
I believe
Yeah.
so.
I
Wild.
think recently.
I know they also announced that Night of the Seven Kingdoms season 2 just wrapped filming as well, I think.
Isn't it like?
Yeah.
Isn't it like next spring? Like I mean, like this spring?
Let
Isn't it,
me
like, March
see.
or something.
It's like
Looking it up.
February, March, somewhere around there.
It doesn't say. I just looked up his role. It doesn't say what the role is. So
April 30th. So yeah, it comes out not soon, but like not far away either. Was seven?
What, Zelda or Night of the Seven Kingdoms?
Zelda.
yeah.
Comes out April 30th
I think
next
this
year.
has the potential to be $1 billion movie. I know we talk about like that as of right now, without anything else being thrown out there. I think this has the potential to be $1 billion movie. Look, the box office seems to be limping back to pre-COVID, so we
I
might
think-
see it up there. So
I think it depends on word of mouth. I
Yeah.
think if people come out loving it, then yes. If people say, "Hey, this sucks," then maybe not.
yeah. For a second, reload. This.
I heard he's
Why is-
also going to be in the new
Godzilla.
Godzilla versus Kong.
Yeah. Speaking of that, we just had a member chat from Cody who says that. Yeah, he's in
When is that?
Godzilla 2.
Gojira.
That's around that same time, right?
Is it?
I think it's next spring. Godzilla. What's it called? Godzilla versus Kong. What's the
The next
subtitle?
battle.
It's something weird. It's
March of 26. So about a month before this one comes out.
Supernova. That's what it's called.
March of 27.
Okay,
26
so,
past.
so yeah.
No, I
April
said
and-
March 26.
Oh, I
The
thought you
day.
said March of 26. So.
No, March 26th, the day of 2027.
So yeah, that's 2 months apart. That's crazy.
Yeah. So, let's see here. What else do we have?
Yeah.
These are all submitted topics. We're just jumping through them here. Gareth Edwards is no longer directing Jurassic World 5. He left due to creative differences.
No big loss
I mean,
there.
Yeah, I don't think a lot of people were happy with the overall presentation of his film. I like this movie. I like the movie that came. I know some people didn't. I liked it. I thought it was pretty good.
I like Rogue One a lot. I like his first movie, Monsters. I couldn't go.
I like Gareth Edwards. I don't like this movie.
I
It's
don't
weird.
like
I
he's done.
Go ahead.
Except
J-
Star Wars. I'm sorry.
Oh, you didn't even like Rogue One?
No, Rogue One is probably the best thing he's ever done.
Oh,
And
okay.
That is still one of my least favorite movies of the Disney era.
Okay.
I liked it. It's just, but no, I hated Monsters. Godzilla, I didn't think was very good. I
Mhm.
can't stand it. I this guy is yet to impress me.
Wow. Well, I actually liked this movie. It wasn't a perfect movie, but I had a good time. My main thing is like the highest point you can get for me if I'm rating a movie is if I have a good time when I come out and I feel like I enjoyed myself. Maybe it was all the drinks I had because I only watched it one time, but I just remember liking it.
Maybe I
So-
should do that. Like one night,
Yeah.
the night after long shifts, and I have the next day off. I'm like, yo, let's get some beer. Put what's
I
it
mean-
called? Dominion? What? No, not
Yeah.
Dominion.
No.
Fucking
No, Rebirth.
Rebirth. There we go. Let's
Yeah.
DC Rebirth or Jurassic Park
I mean-
Rebirth, whatever.
I mean, having alcohol is like one of the only ways you can enjoy Dominion too. So
Oh,
I think I just need
we
to go
got
into these with like low
Yeah.
expectations. Because
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, just
this
think
is
of
the
it like
time that they're gonna get good, and they
Yeah,
always
just-
disappoint me.
just think of it like a Transformers movie.
So, Darren, we got some details about the scrap Fire Lord Zuko film. Did you see this?
Oh, it's officially scrapped, hey?
Yeah. We're going to follow the mysterious murder of Ran and Shaw, the dragons from Book 3. Uncle Iroh would have faced an assassination attempt with Zuko becoming the mysterious assassin's next target. The film would have explored Zuko and Azula's relationship after the 100-Year War. A new actress had reportedly already been cast as Azula. The story seemingly took inspiration from The Search and Smoke Shadow and Shadow, but wasn't a direct adaptation. The project was ultimately scrapped in favor of the Aang movie.
Yeah. I mean, that makes sense. I mean, pretty much all of those movies were scrapped to do the trilogy of movies with Aang, which we don't even know that's happening now after everything.
Yeah.
I think out of the three original movies that were announced, this was my. It's weird because Zuko's my favorite Avatar character, but I do think it was my least anticipated out of those three.
Right.
But I mean, I'd still like to see something like this. I know they've said they're probably going to be focusing more on like shows going forward, or at least streaming movies going forward. But
that's rough, buddy.
That is rough, buddy. I don't know. I'd like to see something with Zuko again, though. I'm a big Zuko guy. That would have been interesting. Although I hope
Dante's also awesome, by the way.
He's great. I know because there was also that like original announcement. It was a Zuko movie. It was a Kyoshi movie, I think, and then it was a Korra movie, which I think Korra was the one I wanted to see the most because that show didn't end. I mean, like it had an okay ending, but like they wanted to do more, obviously, and there's more to tell in that world. So that's the one I really wanted. But
by the way, go ahead.
I was just gonna ask Ronan, are you into Avatar at all?
Not yet.
You'll love it, Ronan. You'll be a big fan.
I think you would.
Yeah, I've been hearing so much from Busy and the other guys that I'm like, and you guys as well, that I'm like, if once I get into it, I'm gonna be probably obsessed by it. I'm like,
yeah,
I know, it's
very up your alley, I think.
Yeah.
Hold on for a second here.
Eric, can I ask you a quick question?
Yeah, go for it.
So I've been away for a while, and what's something that's gonna be coming out pretty soon, which I'm using as a profile right here, is lanterns.
Yeah.
Did you see the trailer that they dropped during Comic-Con?
Oh yeah. I think we all wait. At least, well, I don't think that Jake was here, but I think everybody else was here when we watched it.
What was the consensus?
I don't remember if everybody else felt the same way I did, but I thought it was fantastic. I was like, I'm totally on board with this. I'm ready for the show now. That trailer was exactly what I had asked for, and I actually think there was at least a large enough vocal outcry of people that said, hey, we know it's going to be good, but can you show us like some lantern shit? And so that's what they did with that trailer.
Yeah.
So.
It's better than how you previously felt about the show.
I never thought the show was going to be bad. I didn't really like the trailer. So
my only
next Sunday, man.
Other than that, it looks great.
Oh, because of the profanity. Yeah. Because I believe it's after House of the Dragon ends, which I think is this weekend.
Yep.
I'm kind of glad X-Men and Superman are ending soon because all the shows are about to come back.
Yep.
All right, so we did have a comment here that I wanted to pull. Well, actually, we have a super chat. We'll do the super chat first from Mr. Tony Soprano for $5. Good to see you. I didn't know you were still around. Your reaction to Gary's Brand New Day review was spot on. Gary can't move on from 2021 because his audience and outrage addicts. Without that, he's toast. I have noticed.
The fuck is Gary?
It's really weird.
Yeah.
Nerdrotic.
Yeah.
So I have noticed about these channels, they keep going back to Supergirl, a movie that most of us have moved on from because it's like, it's not even relevant in the box office anymore. It didn't perform well. Fine. Nobody's even talking about it. They keep going back to that and James Gunn now trying to dunk on it by using Marvel stuff, which is another company they supposedly hate.
I'm surprised they still haven't stopped talking about the whole Odyssey thing with Lupita Nyong'o, but apparently those $1 billion shut them up, I think, at this point.
Yeah, they're done kind of talking about that because they know that was a massive L for them. But actually, the Odyssey, I believe, just surpassed Oppenheimer today. Or yesterday. So... pretty incredible.
Yeah.
If you liked what I did with the Nerdrotic video, you definitely want to watch my video. This is a shout out for my video tomorrow. I'm reacting to a 43-minute panel with Critical Drinker, Chris Gore, and I believe Alan from Film Threat, all on the same panel. And it's not a panel at a convention about movies or TV shows. That's all. That's the only teaser I'm going to give you. I don't think anybody's talked about it. I haven't seen anybody bring it up. It's not even very recent. It's from I believe the end of last year. So I'm going to be reacting to that tomorrow on the Debunks channel. So get ready for that.
So
Thank you for the super chat.
You're basically going to be getting a much less funny version of Impractical Jokers by the sounds of it.
Pretty much. So this is from Marvel 22. It says, someone in the chat says Marvel does not treat black superheroes right. I can't find the comment now, but that is not mostly true or not true. Not really sure. There are folks who complain about white heroes not being treated right. So I'm not really sure if these are like your opinions or if this is just something you're saying that you saw in the chat. But I do think it sparks the conversation about the whole Wonder Man thing, because now we know, and I thank you for the comment, that Kevin Feige didn't cancel Wonder Man.
Nope.
That it was a business decision above him.
Oh yeah, I figured it was more from Disney than Marvel, because there's no way Marvel would deny how critically appraised this show got. Besides, putting aside that the marketing wasn't good to it, that like as soon as the show dropped or was like about to drop, people could not stop talking about how good the show was. So I would have been very shocked if Marvel itself were the ones who didn't see the potential to do more. But Disney choosing this does not surprise me.
Yeah.
Hey, maybe Wonder Man's one of the TV specials. Maybe they're not doing another series. Maybe they're gonna do a TV special now.
If they do that, that'll be a quote unquote PR safe. But then again, it would also negate the whole thing of like what made Wonder Man good was that like for a couple of weeks you get to spend time with him and Trevor Slattery. So, but again, hey, if you give me Wonder Man, hell, I'll put it this way: if they announce West Coast Avengers, sold American.
Yeah, we know you've been championing for that for a while. Understand?
For a long time, since what? WandaVision? Yeah.
Yeah.
So it says here, Destin Daniel Cretan says, I know Kevin loves the show as much as I do. It's a bummer. I'm heartbroken about it, but I need to fully understand the why. So they weren't even given like a reason from the new executives over at Disney. They weren't given a reason at all. I think right now we're looking specifically at this and some of the other Marvel shows. I think we need to widen the lens a little bit and see if they're doing this to other things on Disney Plus. Like, is it just Wonder Man, or are there other Disney Plus shows that are just not coming back?
So a lot of the stuff with Wonder Man, it might also just boil down to the director too, because like obviously Destin, he wants to do Shang-Chi too. With all of the success from Spider-Man, they're going to want him to do another one of those movies. Would he have the time to even do a second season of Wonder Man?
I don't think it's that though, because like he said he didn't even really know about it. Like it wasn't Feige, it wasn't him. It seems like it goes higher than that.
And again, I tell you who were shocked by this,
like Dana or one of the other executives up there.
So. Yeah, I tell people like this bummed me out, but this is also from the same studio who instantly, in a very reactionary way, fired James Gunn and Jimmy Kimmel, and then they're like, oh, never mind. So like it's from the same studio who tends to have a tendency of this. So it's a bummer that they put it this way. And have you guys seen the showrunners video that you put up on TikTok?
I did, yeah.
It was so heartbreaking. I felt so bad for him because I love the show.
I did a little digging. You guys aren't going to like this.
Oh no,
they're going to like this. So
was it Uncle Bob?
I wanted to widen the net on Disney Plus cancellations going into 2027, right? Because I wanted to make sure we weren't focusing in on this and going, well, this feels racist because it's another POC character in Marvel that has been like either treated poorly or their show or series or movie or whatever has been canceled. But it looks like Marvel or Disney has also canceled a lot of shows on Disney Plus. We know this one, which is obviously POC led. The Acolyte, which is POC led, Primos, which is POC led, Goosebumps, which has a diverse cast, and The Proud Family, which is a POC animated series, are all not coming back in 2027. Andor is another one. Yeah, true. Andor is not coming back.
I think that was built into it. Yeah, like that one had its end, I think.
But it's just weird because a lot of those, like I looked up the list and I compared it side by side. obviously, like Wizards Beyond Waverly Place, it's finished its multi-season. That's not part of it. But the rest of them are all like either diverse or POC led.
If they have a thing against diverse cast, they're gonna hate X-Men.
I was gonna say like it's if they're not doing this out of malice or pure racist actions, then their PR team needs to get like a double check of like, yo, this does not look good. It keeps happening multiple times. Like again, I had my issues with the show as a whole, but I did like a lot of part of it. But like I doubt She-Hulk will come back, and I want to see more of Jennifer Walters.
The problem with She-Hulk is I think they have the numbers showing that it wasn't financially easy for them to do. That's the only thing that show really has going against it.
It was way too expensive to do those things every episode, and that was 8 of them.
But that's the one, like that one you have an excuse for it. A lot of these we don't know why Wonder Man was canceled, right? We can assume Destin just delivered them probably one of the biggest movies they're going to have, maybe the biggest movie of all time if it does well for 3 weeks. We don't know. So I can't imagine they would go, yeah, this guy that's going to possibly make a $3 billion movie for us, we're going to take his show away from him and not tell him why. There has to be something else going on.
It increased 150 million in its second weekend. That's insane.
Yeah.
There
was I'm trying to find it, and I can't find it now, but there was like a thing that either came out today or yesterday that was like Disney Plus is going to like triple the amount of original content they put out every year, which makes sense if you look at like every new announcement. There's like 20 new like IP-based shows from like books and old cartoons. They just gave an update on like a new Gargoyle show. I don't know if you saw that.
Oh my god,
that was my shit as a kid.
Mm-hmm. Same.
What's this? Something called A Spaceship Earth TV show based on the Epcot attraction getting like a Disney Plus show.
I heard about that. Yeah.
Like a lot of this stuff, and so it's like, I think it maybe be the higher ups looking at Marvel and being like, maybe like Spider-Man doing so well is what made them make this choice of like.
It's Pixar syndrome. It's Pixar syndrome. They gave Pixar away for free for a couple years, and then the box office suffered. I think Star Wars and Marvel on television, with some rare exceptions, maybe animation is okay.
Yeah.
But I think you have to end Star Wars live action shows and Marvel live action shows because you're taking away from the box office. You're training people. This is something I could get at home.
I think we might go back to Marvel stuff on TV, but not until the box office starts recovering for them. And even then, it might be. Look, it might be specials, like one-off thing. Like if you put off a one-off special, that doesn't really pull too far from like box office money. But if you can go see The Falcon and the Winter Soldier for like 8 episodes on TV, why are you going to go to the movie theater and watch those characters again? You know what I mean?
It's a tough road, man, because there's some stuff that did work on TV. Like I don't think we would have had such a time invested with these characters if we just gave them a movie where it was like in WandaVision or Loki. Like those were the talk of the week for weeks going on. And like you look at Star Wars, and a lot of people aren't into it, but like you can't deny that there was a lot of talk of it was Andor. Like if that was just a movie instead of the 2 seasons I got to spend time with him, like that would have really been a thing. So like it can work, but it's all about how you balance out the timing and how much you put out, because if you're putting so much consistently on both streaming and the theater, people are not going to see the difference, and they're going to be very picky on like what time how much money and the timing they choose to spend time with your universe.
I think strategically for them, and we've kind of seen this with like them being sort of apprehensive to put movies out in 2027. I think they have determined what the problem is. We just don't know what that determination was. Like, I think behind the scenes, they have figured out this is what we have to cut, this is what we have to focus on, and this is what's working for us. And I actually think Spider-Man and Doomsday is going to solidify if they were right or wrong. Right? I mean, so Doomsday has older, like the Thor is back. We have Steve Rogers back. We have Robert Downey Jr. back. If these things pull in money, which it probably will, just be clear here, they're going to take that nod and go, we fucked up, even though they're ignoring that COVID was probably a big part of what caused those projects not to perform well.
I mean, I feel like Spider-Man is kind of exempt from that because like he was going to make money no matter what.
Yeah.
And like 'cause he's just so
I
profitable.
disagree.
Character. He's so profitable as a character outside of Marvel. Like
No,
almost
I'm
makes-
saying like there's other characters in the movie with him is what I'm saying. Like they're looking at like Punisher. Obviously, people didn't go to the movie as a Punisher movie, but Punisher didn't make people not go to the movie, right? Hulk was there. We had people talking about it. Obviously, the Jean Grey buzz told them everything they need to know about the X-Men. These are things that I think were products of Spider-Man Brand New Day.
Gene.
right now, like that's not what I'm saying. It's just like I don't think that it was ever a worry or like any like I didn't think there ever needed to be any formulas done or any like they didn't need to do any math to determine all right, well Spider-Man needs to do this. Well, like Spider-Man was always going to do well, I feel.
Yeah, but I mean, like I understand what you're saying, but that wasn't the point that I was making. I'm saying like they tried things in Spider-Man that I think they wanted to see if the audience liked it or didn't like it. Joe, are you fading over there?
A little bit.
You gonna head out, or you gonna hang out with us for a bit?
I probably should. I'm fading fast over here.
Okay, I don't want you to have like a moment on camera where it's like, is Joe alive? Like, what's going on?
Yeah, you don't want me
to
to turn into Robert Meyer Burnett.
Right. Well, he did fall asleep on cam. That's true.
I think
Wait, did he?
he fell asleep
yeah.
on cam and was asleep for like 8 hours or something.
No.
Yeah, it was during one of his late
Really?
streams. So
I need to watch this.
I don't know if
Yeah,
it's still up.
you could probably. I'm pretty sure somebody re-uploaded it somewhere. Anyway, shout out to Joe, Crazy Joe Adventures, Crazy Joe Concession Stands. Do you have anything to promo before you step out?
Nothing in particular. Video. My last video from the Muppets Take the Mahoning 4 is up on the channel. It
Yeah.
was last weekend. It was great. It was Christmas in July-ish, and the big movie was Muppet Christmas Carol. So it's a good time.
Okay.
Check it out.
All
Check
right.
it out.
All right. Well, take care, Joe.
Yeah.
See you, Joe.
Um.
Have a good night.
So, but jumping back to what I was saying about Spider-Man is I think they were trying some things to see if people were interested, right? So the Jean Grey thing, which we were confused why they were keeping it a secret. We know why now. It makes sense. And I think the fact that that was something that a lot of people didn't understand means that they were looking at something in Spider-Man to figure out creatively where they're going to go next. Like that's what I meant when I was saying Spider-Man. Like you're right, Spider-Man was always going to make money. Like that, I don't think there was any doubt Spider-Man was going to make money. So for me, that's all I was thinking about was like, oh, okay, well maybe they were thinking of those things. The same thing with Doomsday. I think Doomsday always makes money, but I think that they have to actually see if the decisions they made with certain characters works, right? So like Steve Rogers coming back, clearly they're putting a lot of eggs in that basket with Steve because like you said, Darren, he's been in the marketing. We know a lot of people are talking about him. Robert Downey Jr. is Doom. We know that's a big deal because he's been on stage with Kevin Feige like 3 or 4 times now. So these are things that they're testing out. But I think financially, both movies were safe always. I think Spider-Man was always safe. I think Doomsday has always been safe. We'll see. I think after Spider-Man's success, there's no way Doomsday doesn't perform well.
Especially if you look at the early tracking numbers for it already.
Yeah.
Like, and I think that some people who've been waiting for Shang-Chi 2 are going to go to that to be like, please give us something Shang-Chi to watch. Like, what is he up to? Like, what's he been at? So, like, yeah, I think that probably Robert Downey and them will get them to the theater, but the thing that will keep the word of mouth going if the movie turns out to be pretty damn good is they're like, oh man, the thing they gave Shang-Chi to do in this, and we, you know,
You want to,
yeah.
You want to pull up Eagle's comment?
Eagle Eye?
Which this one right here?
Yeah, that made like $760 million on like a 220 budget. It made money.
Yeah, no, that it wasn't a flop. So this is the difference between flop and underperforming. It underperformed their expectations, but it did not flop. Like the studio wanted more money out of it.
What
Amazing Spider-Man 2?
I mean, well, no, this is the first one that I'm talking about.
Oh, okay, right, gotcha.
Yeah, so,
I thought you said 2. Sorry.
No, I mean 2 was kind of the same thing. Like it did not financially underperform or budgetarily underperform because it still made a good bit more than its budget back. Like there's a difference between underperforming financially and then underperforming from studio expectations. There's two levels.
Yeah. So Jaybird hit the nail on the head. Yeah, I mean it's kind of like they didn't see the audience loving it, and that was the problem. Plus, to be fair, even though I'm kind of less harsh on the second one, there were issues with that second movie with Mark's decisions in that movie, and so yeah.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
it was more or less about Mark's decisions and more like with just the studio cutting things out left, right, and center.
Yeah.
You can see the beginning of the Venomverse mistakes in that second Amazing Spider-Man movie. Like some of the creative decisions that Sony were putting in their films for Spider-Man show that they were trying to do the things that we ultimately saw in the Villainverse, I should say, not the Venomverse, that were issues with their decisions behind the scenes.
You know what's something I want to see that's been teased for a long time, even though nobody confirmed it?
What's that?
When the X-Men come about, I need Dazzler, man. That's what I need. I need
I have
Dazzler.
a question for you guys.
Yeah.
So Marvel is known when a movie does very well, they usually have characters in those movies and are like, let's send them on their own journey. Do you think after the success of Spider-Man, they might give Punisher another shot?
Dude,
I think we would see a special. I don't know about a movie though.
Dude, I was in Hall H, and when John Bernthal came out, for me and Adam, me and my friend Adam, we're both like, are they gonna give him his own movie? Oh my gosh, they're gonna do it? And it was like, no, we're just gonna show you a clip from Brandon. Day. Like, all right, cool. But like, I would not be surprised, but I also would not be surprised if John kept them in the corner, be like, unless the script is damn good, and as long as you're not, and it better be damn hard.
Because he was heavily involved with the special. I mean, he had a lot to do with that special. So
yes,
but like, think about it. Like, this could potentially be a $300 million movie, right? There's a lot of people who didn't know who Punisher was previously who now does, and you can make that for dirt cheap. Right?
But here's the problem, though. It's the Spider-Man audience. Like, you'd have to make it a PG-13 movie because that money doesn't translate from PG-13 to rated R. Like, you'd have to make it a PG-13 movie.
On some extent, but also if you make it cheap,
Deadpool.
it doesn't need the entire audience.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you can make it for like a 50 million budget.
I know Joe just jumped out of here, but my only issue with that is if you have people under the age of 18 that loved him in Spider-Man, they're going to be really annoyed if they can't go see his movie. So
that's the thing
my
that
only issue.
I think like Deadpool was the exception. Like, it would work. I knew it would work, and it made that money. And now they're bringing back Sean Levy, and the biggest question outside of which version of Ghost Rider they're going to play is like, is the movie going to be rated R?
Yeah.
And I remember when Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness was announced, people were like, it's going to be a horror movie. Like, yes, we're getting a rated R movie. It's like, nope, we're not. It's like,
hey,
okay.
Well,
that movie,
the smaller the budget, the higher probability they can do a rated R movie.
Right,
though, I think.
right.
That movie also rides the edge of rated R. Too.
True.
Yeah.
And
But
So,
I
like-
like what Eric said. Like, I think if John Bernthal makes them, and I don't think a Punisher movie should cost $100 million or even
No.
over it at all. Like,
I think you could
plays
do
the
one
cards
between
right,
like
yes.
60 and 75, right? 60 and 75 for a Punisher
I
movie.
mean,
I would go 50-60. Yes, 50-60.
I mean, they made Blade back in the day for like 60 million, and it was a big hit. So you can do it with Punisher also. And
I mean,
even
that's
like
what Darren essentially was saying that like for the budget they could probably do it, and I do agree with that. If they're gonna
Yeah,
do
I
it,
agree.
it's because the budget is so low. Yeah.
yeah. I mean, like the first Deadpool was made for a relatively low budget, and at the time when it came out, it was the highest grossing R-rated film of all time. And then each Deadpool sequel then earned that title when it came out. Deadpool and Wolverine still has it. So
That's
I
how
mean,
Logan came out as well. Both James Mangold and Hugh took a cut of their fee and the movie budget, and they're like, all right, we'll give you the R.
yeah.
So a couple things here. There is a comment directed towards Darren, but I think it's a straw man. When Kevin says that I understand why every character should get a solo movie or TV show, Darren, can you explain? I don't think Darren was, you cleared it up in the chat, by the way. Yeah, I didn't see that response, but yeah, go ahead. It's for you, so you go ahead.
I said that Disney often wants to do that. Like when a movie is successful and a lot of people see it, they're like, okay, what characters can we spin off from that? I'm not saying you should.
We could get a separate Jean Grey
movie.
movie. We could get a separate Jean Grey movie if they wanted to do it.
You know how much people wanted that coming off of the success of No Way Home? People wanted those things for Toby and Andrew, but no one did that. They left the money on the table.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, the problem with that was because that's the financial stuff. That's the Sony side. They were the ones that didn't want to do it. Like they were look, I honestly believe had they not been putting out their dog shit Villainverse movies, they probably would have taken a risk on a Spider-Man, like a Andrew or Toby Spider-Man movie.
Yeah,
the problem is they were trying to build up that stupid Villainverse that nobody was responding to.
No. And the only reason why like the second Venom movie even got as much buzz as it did is because people thought it was going to have more ties to No Way Home than it ended up having. And then no.
Right. Fair enough.
Fantasy.
Couple things here. We got a super chat from Cody. It's about the Disney stuff we were discussing. The drama that has come out of the Wizards Beyond is wild. I was looking this up. Actually, I looked it up when I first saw this. Yeah,
Selena
so apparently,
Yeah.
apparently, okay, let me scroll back up here. This is crazy. So there was an exclusion of the original cast that fans were upset that Justin Russo was the only original cast member returning. Jake Austin, Max Russo, publicly revealed he wasn't invited back initially, leaving fans heartbroken over the missing Russo brother dynamic. While Selena Gomez returned for guest appearances and executive produced the show, fan favorites like Jennifer Stone and Greg Sulkin were largely absent until very late cameos. There was behind the scenes stuff. Executive producer David Henry, the creative force driving the reshoot, with online fan discourse, particularly across Reddit and TikTok, frequently criticized him for making the revival all about him. There were also rumors, I guess, regarding that he was MAGA
He is.
because he didn't want to go on the original cast podcast.
No, he's like fully confirmed MAGA.
He drank
Oh,
the
is it?
Kool-Aid.
Okay.
He's full fledged. Yeah.
Okay.
He was on Fox News a couple months ago.
Okay. All right. There we go. All right.
You know who bummed me out that I found out was Ham from Toy Story. That bummed me out.
Oh, John
really?
Ratzenberger?
Yeah.
AKA the Flea in Life or Mac from Cars or every other damn Pixar role.
Yeah. We have one more topic that Darren submitted, I believe, in the private chat. So we'll look at that.
Back
But then the back rooms. Before we do that, though, I'm going to read the super chat and we're going to check this out. But I also want to know what people thought about the Aang movie, because we haven't really talked about that. So I just want to kind of get thoughts of people that saw it. If you didn't watch it, it's fine. I just want to get a quick opinion from everybody. Logan with the $5 super chat said, Discord DM a short about the Cyclops casting. Like to hear the panel thoughts about Greg's take. Also, back to Indy earlier, she said she was. Yeah, there is a rumor about her wanting to play Mystique. I don't know if that's been confirmed or not.
No.
She wants to. That's all that's been said. Like she wants to.
I saw that interview clip of her saying Mystique would be cool.
In terms of the Cyclops casting, I'm not familiar with this dude's work.
Yeah.
I am familiar with Cooper Hoffman's work. I'm a big fan of what he's been doing, and like if he would have been the choice, I'm like, all right, dude, but like, and
let me say, based on this casting, Ronan, it's very clear to me they are going for the YA audience.
Yeah, which makes sense, but I'm also being like, please be careful with that because I don't want this to feel like Maze Runners or Divergent.
They really, really want with this casting with Sadie, with Samara. It does feel like they're trying to tap into the young adult audience heavily for this X-Men group.
That's weird. I could see Sadie as Jean and Samara as Emma. Like,
I can too, 100%.
I see them like those characters is just, and then it with all the rumors of who's being cast and like they cast Rogue, they cast this. Like, well, wait a minute. If they're casting the characters this young, then that means they're probably going to go for the original 5.
Yeah,
I have no
or
issue
something
with.
Close to that. Yeah, close to that probably.
But if you're also casting the likes of Rogue or Storm, then this feels more like in the vein of giant-sized X-Men.
Yep,
yes.
Without Wolverine, hopefully.
Right, yeah, exactly. That's what I would do, yeah.
Staggervor, the executive producer of the Wizards
David Henry
show.
Justin, for those who only know the character name.
Yeah.
He's a very bad man.
Well, there's a possibility that Emma is not a villain out the gate. There's a possibility that she is there as a mysterious character that we're not sure if she's good or evil. They could definitely do something like that with Emma.
Emma Frost is the main villain of the first X-Men movie, that would be a bold move, and I'd be like, you know what? It's not the usual suspects. It's not Magneto or Apocalypse or Phoenix. I'm like, you know what? I welcome the notion thus far.
Yeah. But if you're gonna do like Emma Frost, maybe like show some existence or acknowledgement of the Hellfire Club too.
Mm-hmm.
I would like that, but I honestly feel like this. I don't want to freak anybody out here. Okay, I think this X-Men team is going to really focus on the dynamic between the characters and not so much on the lore outside the X-Men. This feels to me like they're going to go for an emotional, very character-driven version of the X-Men. I don't think we're going to see like Easter eggs and stuff like that.
I'm okay with
all this stuff.
That doesn't mean you can't do that, because I mean, Brand New Day was character-driven for Spider-Man, and there was still plenty of world building.
No, I mean, like, we're expecting so many things to be done in this first movie. I don't think we're going to see all this.
They're gonna do small.
I don't think the Hellfire Club is even talked about in the first movie. Only because we're introducing the only way I would believe the Hellfire Club is going to be introduced is if they cast another member of the court. If it's
Sebastian,
just Emma, yeah, if it's just Emma, I don't think we're going to hear any mention of that, to be honest. But we'll see.
Hey,
sounds
Greg.
boring. I don't think it's boring. So it really depends on what you're looking for. I personally like character-driven stories because it gives you a lot more. It feels more like a TV show where you get a lot of time with the characters. When the story is driven by the larger world and its world building as a story, I personally get a little bit bored with that too. So I don't know. I like when characters are incorporated in it. This is a content creator here I'm not familiar with. This was
Greg Alba, Real Rejects, one of the OGs.
Oh, that's where I know him from. Okay, I've probably heard his voice then before. So
big Real Rejects fan.
Okay,
love what they do.
So let's see what he has to say here. This is apparently Lone Wolf super chatted for this. So let's see what this short is.
Okay. Kit Connors as Cyclops is just way too soft to play him. That's what so many other people online are saying. That's because people are misunderstanding who Cyclops actually is. Scott Summers isn't supposed to be the toughest guy in the X-Men. He becomes their leader because he never stops caring about the people he's responsible for. The dude's disciplined, compassionate, emotionally restrained. He's spent his entire life forcing himself to stay in control. That's honestly what Kit Connors already does really well. I've seen all of Heartstopper. He's incredible in that, by the way, as the leader of the rugby team. Anyway, whether it's Heartstopper or his work in Warfare even, he's incredibly good at making you feel everything his character.
I just said that's what this movie is going to be about, emotions and connections between people. And based on the castings, I stand by that.
Is trying not to say. There's always something happening underneath the surface. That's such a huge part of Scott Summers, and it's something you have to convey with a freaking visor over you. Do I understand the skepticism? I actually do. If you've only seen Heartstopper, I get why it's hard to picture him giving orders to Wolverine in the middle of a battle. That's also why I don't think Marvel cast him to play the finished version of Cyclops.
Okay, that's what I was gonna say. Like this is the beginning of the X-Men.
Yes.
So like we're not talking about the X-Men '97 team that's been around for a decade or 2 decades or whatever. This is the beginning of the X-Men.
It's probably going to feel very evolution centered, where they're younger and they form into the team.
Mm-hmm.
Hypothetically, he should kind of be a loser movie one for like most of it, where he doesn't know who he is, how to use his powers, where he is in the world, what are the X-Men. Like he should be like that should be the arc of the movie, is him finding his own strength and finding who he is and finding who he wants to be. So yeah, it's weird being like he's weak. It's like, yeah, it kind of should be. I don't know. Like
All right, let's finish.
Casting a 22-year-old Scott Summers, a person who's going to grow, a guy who's compassionate enough to earn people's trusts and who will eventually be hardened into the legend by the leading X-Men. Marvel doesn't need Kit Connor to be Wolverine. They need us to believe that one day a Wolverine would follow him. Plus, I think he looks pretty good to Sadie Sink, you know?
Okay. All right. Well,
I haven't seen Heartstopper, but if Greg vouches for him, then I'm okay with it. Again, the only reason why I was championing Cooper was because I love what he did in Licorice Pizza, The Long Walk, But I'm like, you know what? Bring it on.
I don't think like he's like the perfect kind of actor I want. I'm really liking the vibe of where they're getting these actresses and actors because they're established actors. They have been in hits. But they're not like, Dwayne Johnson level of actor. They're not like these massive, very much like where Marvel was kind of built on. These actors that had a history, but like Kit Connor and Sadie Sink can form these characters around their career. Kit Connor will now forever be Scott Summers for the rest of his career, hopefully. And I think Sadie Sink, even though like Stranger Things was that popular, she was never like the lead of any I guess season 4, but like in general, like she can be Jean Grey for the rest of her career and not Max, which I think is
I always say, man, like they need to go about it with the Kevin Conroy approach that they did back in the 90s. Like, be willing to look at an actor not many people have heard of, but who has the right instinct for the role.
Right.
Like,
And also, can I make one request for the first X-Men movie?
Yeah.
Please let us spend time in the danger room. Like, that's one thing that I just been like, yo, we get Cerebro, I get it, but like, spend time in the danger room and spend time with them training. That way, you know why a lot of us, even though we've grown up with more Avengers movies in the modern times, like, I still think the X-Men would kick the Avengers' ass just because they have stuff like the danger room to train on. Like, I really hope that they emphasize that.
And you get to see more of their dynamics as a team and not just a person carrying them. Because, listen, like, there are a handful of movies that are good, but not a lot of those movies showed their team dynamics well at all.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Cody here with a $5 super chat says Rogue could be a villain because people forgot that
is
Rogue was
also
originally
true.
a villain before joining the X-Men and was with the Brotherhood.
Yep.
That is also true.
Yeah,
back in Uncanny Avengers. Yep.
she looked very, very different when she was a villain too.
Yeah,
but
you know what?
Yeah.
X-Men 97 at the end of season 1, they kind of showed her in that Uncanny Avengers look.
Yes.
On screen.
Yeah. I will say this: Rogue. If you go through Rogue's story, like the beginning of Rogue into the Rogue that we know now, she's got one of the coolest like villain
Arcs.
stories because, she's got because she starts out as a villain. She's got the issue with like her mother and the family, the stuff with the mother. I don't want to spoil too much with that, but even though it's an old story, I don't want to give it away.
Yeah.
But
And
she does that with
also
the Brotherhood. So go ahead.
Also, the stuff with Carol too. Keep that in mind.
Right. But that's what I was saying. Like when she gets to the point where the whole thing with Captain Marvel and what happens to Carol, what Rogue does makes both Carol and Rogue more interesting times 1,000. Like both of those
Yes.
characters become way like the Captain Marvel post Rogue interaction and Rogue post Captain Marvel interaction are the best versions of those characters. So
I know the odds of it happening are almost zero, but man, if somehow they found a way to get Anna Paquin into one of these movies, I would love to see that scene come to life. I know the odds of it happening are next to none, but man, I would be so happy.
If Samara Weaving is actually cast as Emma Frost, and what if it's like, all right, Emma Frost has her own school of mutants, and there's this tug of war between her and Charles's school, and how maybe Rogue at one point goes and like is a follower of Emma Frost, but then finds out like no, there's more to it, and the X-Men take her in and be like, you can come join us. Like, we'll teach you how to manage this stuff way better than Emma Frost potentially grooming them for the Hellfire Club.
If Emma's treatment of the Stepford sisters is any indication, then we know she's not the best teacher.
Yeah.
Dr. Midnight says, I imagine the complainers will have nothing else to complain about the X-Men movies, only complain about how Professor X is not a creepy old man like he was in the early X-Men issues with Jean Grey. There was a lot of creepy comments made about Jean Grey back when she first appeared in the X-Men.
And even after this movie, I've already seen people being stupid online and fucking shipping her with Peter Parker. I'm like, you guys need to calm the hell down.
So Jean Grey will be the audience POV character. So we originally had Shadowcat back in the day, Sprite, Kitty Pryde as a POV character, and then we had Jubilee as a POV character later on.
And then you had Sunspot when you got to X-Men 97.
Yeah, so I think Jean Grey being the POV character in the MCU makes sense, right? I understand they would be doing that.
Yeah.
Which is why when that movie ends, I didn't need to hear the X-Men chime. I didn't need to, see another character. All I needed to see was her on a bus going upstate. I'm like, that's all I need. That's all. I could make the implications there by myself.
Yeah, I didn't need to see a big house.
No.
So a couple things. We are running into the 2 hour and 10-minute mark, which is a lot later than I expected it to be. So we're going to do the super chats. We're going to watch these trailers that Cameron submitted, but I don't think we're going to have time to do our list tonight because I can't keep these guys until 2:00 in the morning. So we have to wrap it up. I would have loved to have done it, but we've just had so much to discuss tonight. So we didn't get around to it, but Tuesday will be the official viewer appreciation night where we will do all of these things, including the list we were going to do tonight, just so you guys know.
So news drops until then.
So I don't want to be down or done, but I gotta go. I gotta get back to editing.
No. You're totally cool. Thank you for coming in and hanging out with us. Whether you were leaving or not, I had already made the executive decision. We
Right.
just don't have time to do our list, so it's fine.
I miss you guys. I miss hanging out with y'all. So yeah, I was like, I
Yes.
gotta do this.
Good to have you here, Ronan. So have a good night.
Continue, boys. Take care of yourselves.
See you, buddy.
So Tuesday, even if news drops, I'm starting the stream at 10 o'clock on Tuesday.
Okay.
Wait, is anybody else streaming at 10 on Tuesdays? I don't want to overlap
I think
anybody's
so.
stream. Okay, all right.
So
So I will start the stream at 10 to cover any news if there's big news. If there is no big news, we will start at 11 and we'll just do our viewer appreciation thing. So barring a trailer or a massive casting or something like that, we will see how it goes on Tuesday. Cameron here with the Charlie Super Chat says, sent 2 trailers to watch. We'll watch those trailers in just a moment, Cameron. Thank you for the $2. $2 Super Chat from Lone Wolf says, seen fan cast Michael Johnston as Iceman, yay or nay? I don't know Michael Johnston.
it's a dude from Obsession.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Oh. I mean,
How old is he though?
is
It's
he
like
Bear?
30. He's
Is that
30.
Bear?
Yeah, it's Bear. He's 30.
Oh, if he's 30, then no.
No, probably not. I think not because he can't play younger, but I think they're trying to lock in actors at a certain
Yeah.
age. So
How ironically fucked up would it be if like Indy gets cast as Rogue and he's Gambit or something?
oh my god.
How ironically fucked up would that
Well,
be?
look. Let me say this though. Barring the fact that I think he might be a little bit too old for what they're looking for, the chemistry between them could probably drive people to watch them in the movie. To be quite honest,
What if they were paired?
yeah, because they'd already worked together. So I think
Yeah.
a lot of people would go and watch that. You know what I mean?
Unless Iceman's a bit older, like you could have.
No,
some of
I
them.
don't think. Yeah, I don't
don't-
think. So I think Iceman's going to be like 20, somewhere between 20 and 23.
Yeah.
I think that's where they're going to cast him.
If we even do
25 at the
Iceman.
high end.
Yeah, they. I mean, he is an OG member, so.
He is.
Yeah, but we don't.
And
know if
you
they're
know
going
what?
that route.
It wouldn't be the first time he's played an X-Men character.
Yeah.
You're right.
Do you know the first time he's done it, Eric?
Wait, what? What did you say? Sorry.
I said it wouldn't be the first time Michael Johnston's played an X-Men character.
The one from Obsession, that guy?
Yeah,
Was he a voice of somebody in the animated series?
he's young
in
Cable in
97.
'97. He's
I-
young Nathan.
I was gonna say I thought that was the case. Jimmy Olsen is the gateway to the cosmic side of the DC universe. I mean, in the comics he was. Darkseid appeared first, I believe, in the Jimmy Olsen comic book.
That's crazy.
I'm pretty sure that's real. Like I think that's the lore. I'm not big on
And they would
classic
do that,
DC, but I
too.
think that's true.
They would
Yeah.
absolutely do that.
I can't remember.
Well, Darkseid's going to be a Mr. Miracle. We know that.
Yeah.
So we'll probably see Darkseid animated before we see him live action. Maestro here says Iceman should be played by someone really. I think he will be. I think if they're going to bring Iceman in and Angel, they're going to be in their like late 19, 20, 21, somewhere around there. If I had to guess.
It's fine.
And
If
I
you
think
do somebody. It's fine if you do somebody like Beast is a little bit older. That's fine.
Yeah. I think 25 is the cap on the OG X-Men or any of the X-Men other than the ones that they don't expect to be new. Like having an older Wolverine makes sense because he's not that young anyway, right? So that
He's
does
always-
make sense.
I think
And the other characters age up to Wolverine, right? So they catch
Yeah.
up to him physiologically. So
like I think Xavier, obviously, Magneto, obviously. I'd say Mystique can be older.
yeah.
Storm could be. Maybe.
I don't. She
I
could
want
be, but a
Storm
lot of
in
people
there,
do.
though.
I've heard people complaining they don't want Storm to be the goddess mother character out the gate. They want her to be younger. So
Throw into that, yeah.
Sure, I just don't think you need to go like X-Men Apocalypse young.
how old was she in that movie?
She's a teen.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
like
right.
her
She
20.
was. She was really. Yeah, so.
20 years old. Yeah, 20.
I
21,
actually
22.
think. I personally think that all of the core X-Men characters will be under the age of 30,
Yeah,
except for maybe Wolverine.
probably.
Yeah.
This is also just such a good opportunity to uplift young actors that maybe we wouldn't have gotten this opportunity.
I mean,
Cynthia Erivo's too old to play Storm in the MCU.
That's exactly how it happened with Hugh Jackman, because he was nowhere near the first choice for Wolverine back in the day. They offered it to Russell Crowe after Doug Ray Scott had to back out, and Russell Crowe was like, "Well, this doesn't really sound like me, but it sounds like this guy over here," and that's how Hugh Jackman got it.
Yeah. So Chris, this is a good point. I think Alexander Shipp could be Storm. They the story did her zero favors. Yeah, I think the issue was her casting could have been good, but the story itself just wasn't great. That's kind of the problem.
Yeah.
That actress has like the worst luck when it comes to franchises.
That is true. So Darren, you sent in a topic about Disney Plus, I believe.
Yeah, it was some. I don't even really know what it is. I didn't even read.
I read it. I read it.
Okay.
I read it already, so we'll talk about it. But yeah,
I
usually have it open in the corner here, and I'm always like, we'll talk about it. Yeah. So TLDR of this article is that Disney Plus plans to roughly triple its number of international series on Disney Plus over the next 3 years. So we're talking the UK, Ireland, Korea, and Latin America branches of Disney Plus. So they're citing shows like Rivals from the UK, The Perfect Crown from Korea, and Dear Killer Nannies from Latin America. Seems to be performing so well, they're going to expand and up those because they're doing well in their markets as well as international markets. So it sounds to me like they're going to start like leaning into diversity in regions, which I think is really interesting. But that does leave I think this we might have the answer to the mystery right here. This might be why so many of the original productions that are happening here in the USA and Hollywood are getting cut, because they're going to start branching into international properties and bringing those over into the Disney Plus catalog. Because believe it or not, Disney still believes in like not overlapping stuff. Like that's why they don't release a lot of things over top of each other. It's their system is different from Netflix. Netflix will just dump like 20 things on at the same time. Netflix doesn't do that. They like to have things in some sort of exclusive bubble. So
you know who I think might actually be a good Storm?
Who?
So I feel bad. I can't remember the actress name. I think it's Anna, but actually, no, it's not Anna. Whoever's playing Annabeth and Percy Jackson, I think might actually be a good Storm. I can't remember her name, but I don't know. When I see her and Percy Jackson, I'm like, I see shades of Storm here, and I think it could work. I can't remember the actress's name off the top of my head, but I think she could work.
Yeah, Alexandria Daddario. Oh, that's the one from the movies. You're talking about Leah Sava Jeffries.
That's not right.
I was like, wait, that's not her. That's somebody else.
That's a white woman.
Yeah, keep Daddario away from the
40-year-old white woman.
So, Darren, did you have any thoughts on the news about the Disney Plus expanding? Do you think there's anything in that, or
I just kind of wanted to add it to like the like Wonder Man combo where we were talking about like.
So do you agree with what I was saying, that that's probably why, because they're just expanding their international production?
That, and I think I actually think Joe is kind of on the money with it, with just like I think they're trying to get Marvel and Star Wars back to pretty much theater exclusives, and then I think that's why we're seeing so many of these new shows being pitched, because they're not doing as much Marvel and Star Wars. They have to go to book IPs and like older shows, like the like Gargoyles and stuff like that. I think we're bringing up a lot of those stuff.
Let's see. Salam here says Ryan Coogler is helping to cast Storm. I think Jamie Lawson will be cast. That's the other. I think when we looked at some pictures the other day, she was one of the people, because I think it showed her on that list that we were looking at. Jamie Lawson.
Do we think she's in Black Panther 3?
Storm?
Okay, so remember before Spider-Man came out, right? And I said that I didn't like the idea of Jean Grey being introduced as an X-Man in Spider-Man, and therefore I was applying that same train of thought to Black Panther, because I remember Jake I don't think you had an issue with Storm being introduced in Black Panther.
No,
right?
because like that's very different than Jean Grey being introduced in Spider-Man.
Okay, yeah, and before Spider-Man, depending on which way Sadie Sink's character went, I didn't think that Marvel would do it because it didn't seem like it worked, right? But now that we know they were able to pair up Jean Grey, Sadie Sink in Spider-Man Brand New Day, I think it makes more sense if they're going to introduce Storm in something other than an X-Men movie to be in Black Panther. Like,
Yeah.
it makes more sense now because they have introduced Jean Grey already. But that really
Yeah.
just depends if they're going to introduce Storm in Black Panther. We just don't know, right? We're not sure. Because we also have the X-Men movie possibly coming out before Black Panther does. So
that's a good point. That's a very
Yeah.
good point.
if that date holds.
If not, the first one. Let's
Yeah,
see.
that's true. That's true. We got a couple of trailers here that we're going to look at, and then we're going to tap out for the night. One of them is from, it's a very short trailer for DC Next Level, which comes out September.
Oh.
And this was shared by Cameron. So let's pop this up on screen. We'll do this. And then we've got a trailer for the Chris Hansen movie, I think is Primetime or whatever it is with Robert Pattinson. Anyway, here we go.
This is a game?
I think it's a... Demon!
Etrigan!
Vixen!
Let's go.
A new Batman. Okay. Static?
I did hear about that. Okay. Is this...
All right.
I don't...
Comes
need
out
to
September,
assume.
starts September of this year. So...
Do we think this is in response to the boycotts that we were having?
Oh,
I don't-
about what about
like DC So
What?
White or whatever that was.
Yeah.
like over 1,000 days since a Black-led series?
Yeah.
Sure.
So I don't know if it is, but I think what DC Comics has done that is really interesting to me is the Absolute Universe is crushing it right now. It's one of the
Yep.
biggest things they've done in decades, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
And I think what we're seeing is there's an audience out there that is just ready for new versions of these stories. And we're not talking about just a little change. In some cases, we're talking extreme changes in these characters, making them not different secret identities, like changing them fundamentally, right? I think DC is going, hey, you know what? It worked with Absolute. I like some of these titles in here. I like the concept they're doing. I'm saying this could be a big thing. This could actually do really well for them since the Absolute Universe has done really well for them. And I wish Marvel would take some risk like this in the Marvel comic side.
They were for a while, like in the early 2000s.
And they kind of stopped now. They're trying to do brand synergy with the MCU.
Which that's what was hurting them in the 2010s. I thought they
True.
were learning from that.
True.
Because even like a lot of the games they were coming out with, you could tell that like the rosters were tailor fitted to go along with what was going on in MCU at the time, and that hurt them.
Yeah. Here we go. We got the where's it at here? Hold on. We got the primetime trailer. Wait.
Oh,
This
Chris, don't bring up Civil War 2. Oh God, that was so bad. Garrett was even asking me earlier. He was like, "Didn't people hate the Civil War comic?" I'm like, "They hated the second one. The second one was awful. The first
Yeah.
one is like one of my favorite. The first one's one of my favorite Marvel events. Second one is
Yeah.
complete shit."
Steigervore says, 499 super chat. Thank you, Steigervore. I've seen comments throwing shade at Cynthia Riva for her the idea of her playing Storm. I don't look before we started getting castings
Yeah.
for the X-Men. I would have been okay with Cynthia Erivo playing Storm. I know some people don't like her. I like Cynthia Erivo. She's a little, she's kind of an oddball on the red carpet, but I like her, right?
The one who played
they were going
Alpha
for a
in those
different-
like
Yeah.
movies.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like her, but I do believe that a lot of people were going, how can this person that played this character play Storm? They're actors. This is their job to do this, right?
Yeah.
I would have been okay with it. But now that we're seeing the type of castings they're going for, and what I mean
Yeah.
is like the age range, I just don't think it's logical to cast Cynthia Erivo as Storm at this point. I think anybody above the age of 30 would have to be incredible at their job for them to even consider casting them in any of the foundational roles of the X-Men, other than Professor X, Magneto, and Wolverine. I think they're the
Maybe
exceptions.
Beast. Maybe Beast.
yeah.
I think could fit in.
Beast,
that, but-
yeah, because I don't. Oh, I don't think they're gonna do this, but especially don't do what Fox did the second time, where you like jump a number of years with each movie, and then people age like 1 year and 30 years. Like, please
Yeah.
don't do something like that
No,
again.
I agree with that.
I assume they won't. But like you start out a character like Beast in those rerun movies, and he's like early 20s,
Yeah.
and then you go 30 years later, and he's supposed to be like 50 years old, and he doesn't look like it in the slightest. Like,
Staggervore, I'm talking about the core X-Men. Emma Frost becomes an X-Man later on, but she's not part of the core X-Men.
and even then, like, she's kind of a part timer.
Yeah, I feel like we're looking at the casting of Cyclops, right? Making Storm older than Cyclops doesn't make sense in my mind unless they're flipping around the ages of the team. Because you got to remember, Storm is in the team after Cyclops, meaning that
20 years after.
much later. So if they're doing Rogue, I feel like if Rogue and some of these other actors are going to be comparable in age to Cyclops, Storm is also going to be in comparable age to Cyclops.
Can I give a little bit of a context just in case people are unaware?
Yeah.
So your 60s group in the original run, I'll just say this. It was Scott, Jean, Beast, Iceman, Angel. Those were your 5.
Yeah.
Get to the 80s, and even though characters like Wolverine already existed like a little bit before that, he didn't become a member until the 80s. So in the 80s, you had Wolverine, Nightcrawler, Colossus, Storm, and I'm forgetting one. Wolverine, Nightcrawler, Colossus, Storm, Kitty Pryde. And then early 90s was when you had Rogue. So like that's kind of the divide for some of those characters. And some of them are a little bit closer in age than others. But like just for a context of when they all join relatively, that's kind of where it goes.
I also want to point out that I think they're thinking ahead, right? So you have older actors playing some of those older characters chronologically. I think they want a level playing field of classic X-Men, all new, all different X-Men around the same age so that they can all coexist for the next 15 years in the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Just don't model them after all new, all different.
I also think you want, like, Storm is one of the few X-Men where I'm like, that's her own franchise. Like, I would not even be
also, Storm can play in the Black Panther franchise, which is why I think it's important.
I would say Rogue is kind of that same thing. Like, Rogue could be her own franchise. She's been an Avenger before.
Let me tell you.
Well, like most X-Men have, but she could also work very well on her own.
I would not be shocked if after Black Panther 3, Ryan Coogler maybe wants to stay at Marvel, but he doesn't want to commit to another Black Panther right away. I could see him directing like a Storm movie.
Well, but also I was just thinking, if we want that romance between Storm and T'Challa Jr., then she has to also be somewhat in that age range. So if that's what I want to do.
Well, how old is David Johnson?
He's not like in his late 30s, I don't think.
He's 30.
Oh, 30 on the dot.
So she would be like, she has to be right. So I would say mid 20s to 30 at the highest would be her age. I don't think they're going to go over that. I think 30 is like they're looking at that younger demographic.
I think he's going to play younger, though. I think he's probably going to play like 20.
I think he will play younger, but remember, I said I think their ceiling is 30. I think that's the ceiling for any of these like new actors coming in. So
okay, I was very, very wrong.
Why?
Because that person I said that plays Annabeth and Percy Jackson, I was like, oh, she'd be Storm. I just looked at her age; she's 16. I didn't realize she was that young.
Oh,
so
that's too young.
Yeah, probably not.
Yeah, so Cynthia Erivo is almost 40. So I just think that I like Cynthia. I think she could play Storm. I don't think she's the right age range for what they're doing in the MCU.
I'm trying to think of what the what's that new character that's being brought into the third?
He's 31. David Johnson's 31.
Hold on.
I still think he's going to play slightly younger.
I agree with that.
Because if he is 31, then how are they going to explain Shuri's relationship to him? Because he was a kid, unless they're going to make Shuri look way older.
Yeah, apparently he's technically older than Shuri.
Yeah. So, I don't know. All right, so Lone Wolf here with the $2 super chat says, thoughts on Gambit's return in X-Men 97. It was an interesting episode. I know that IGN gave it a really bad score. I think they gave it like a 6 out of 10 or something.
Screw IGN.
I think it was a 6 out of 10.
This is one of my
Yeah.
favorite episodes this season.
It's probably my favorite episode of the season.
Yeah, I thought it was weird. They were like, "Oh, it didn't give us what we wanted." I'm like, "What did you want?"
IGN also gave like Penguin a 3, so like
Out of what?
Did it a
10,
10?
I think.
Wow.
I think
Yeah,
they do it for clicks. I think they do those
Yeah.
scores so people will click on the tweet. I don't think they give a shit.
And the sad part is it works.
Yeah. Yeah. Lone Wolf, maybe their official one, somebody from IGN gave it a 3 because I remember reading the article. I was like, this person from IGN is giving it a 3. So, all right. So, let's take a look at the trailer for Primetime. Let's see here.
What is that Hanson movie?
Yeah, it's the Hanson one, but this is the actual official trailer, I think. So Jason, it's not that. I'm talking about, okay, so let me put this in perspective. You want an actor to play a role for 15 years. You're casting them to work alongside actors who are like 21 and 22. You don't cast an actor that's 40 that wants to be in the game for 15 years alongside 21 and 22-year-old actors, unless they want to use like aging technology or whatever. It just doesn't work. I'm not saying they have to be the same exact age, but you're not going to cast somebody 40 to play somebody that's 19 when there's 19-year-old actors that can play the role.
Yeah, it's not the 80s. You don't see a fully built, buff, like 29, 30-year-old and try to make them a 16-year-old.
I love Cynthia Erivo, but I'm pretty sure there's women in their early 20s that can do the job.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm just being straight up. Like, all right, let's watch the trailer for this.
I don't know if I know what this is. Is this that Robert Pattinson thing or no?
Yeah, I'm not sure how this movie is going to be framed here.
Are you sure your parents aren't home?
I'm sure.
Big night planned.
Who are you?
It sounds
Yeah,
so...
seat right there.
What was that? What was that?
Is that Flash?
That looked like David Dastmalchian, didn't it?
No, this is from Spider-Man. You're right.
Oh, Flash, Tony Revolori. Okay.
So let me say, I used to watch these Dateline specials back in the day, and this feels, I know it's not going to be, but it feels satirical at the moment. So I don't know if it is or if it's not, but the actual subject matter wasn't funny. So I'm curious to see what they're going to do here.
These look good.
I'm Chris Hansen with Dateline NBC, and we're doing a story on adults who try to meet teens online. You see how this looks, right?
On the ground! I don't really like your show, but America loves it. So I need to move you to Catch a Predator, 9 p.m. prime time.
Gonna be bigger than Lost.
My name is Dan Plum.
Do you know what you're auditioning for?
So you are playing a 13-year-old?
Is there time for a rehearsal?
We're gonna shoot the rehearsal.
Come in.
They're gonna love this.
Predator has never earned the recognition of.
Oh, this is
my
not going to
God.
be good. This is going to make the whole thing look bad.
Was that who I thought it was right there?
Yes.
Jimmy Olsen.
Skylar. Yeah. It's Skylar. Yeah. So here's the thing. There are rumors that the behind the scenes for this production weren't up and up a lot of times, and that things they did were not great. I think this movie is going to make the whole thing look bad.
Deserves. I want something that matters. No more bottom feeders. I want a whale. Don't you ever just want to bleed them? Maybe what I do is a little worse.
This could be our greatest segment yet.
We're going to him. We don't do that. They come to us.
I don't understand what I'm doing here. What you're doing is more than acting. You're cleansing the world of an ancient evil.
Let's catch us a predator. Who gave you permission to do this?
Oh my God.
You have no plan.
I have to put him on television.
You're gonna be so proud of me.
I pause for a second. Fuck the whole like catch a predator thing. The rest of this looks really fucking good.
It does. It's just
Like the concept of
movie.
the concept of him
Yeah.
playing Chris Hansen in this rabbit hole of like spiraling to get more and more extreme in the Predator world is pretty fucking wild. I will be seated for this movie 100% now.
I don't want to be a bad person. Your definition of bad and my definition of bad are vastly different. What would have happened if I wasn't here?
Pattinson is so good. He's so good.
Speaking of that, I want to remind people, when people go, oh, the guy from Twilight, Robert Pattinson is an incredible actor. And keep in mind, this movie comes out while the Odyssey is still technically in theaters, and he's in that movie. So we've got a year of like Odyssey people in movies that are overlapping with properties like Doomsday and Dune and Spider-Man, and now this movie. Like, this is crazy. 2026 is crazy for films right now.
I'll say this. For a long time, I haven't been the biggest fan of Robert Pattinson's acting. Like, there are some things he's been in that I've liked, but I haven't liked him as much as other people. And it's not just because of Twilight. There are just a lot of parts of his acting that weren't the best for me. I think Odyssey is probably his best performance that I've ever seen. He's not somebody, and granted, I would say this about a lot of that cast. I don't think it's really fair to just tie him to Twilight just because he got popular off of those. He hated those movies.
No. I'm saying like people that like to talk down about him constantly tie him to Twilight. So,
well, I mean, yeah, he took a job. That's what actors do.
Yeah. We got one more super chat here, and it's from Staggervore. 199 super chat says, have you seen the trailer for Violent Night 2? I had not seen it. Joe mentioned it earlier, but then he left and I didn't get a chance to watch it. So we will watch that, but then we definitely have to wrap it up after that. We're already like 9 minutes over the normal end time. I'm having a great time, you guys, and thank you for the super chats. It's just we're running late, but anything for you guys. Let's do the trailer. Here we go. This is David Harbour, I think.
Have you seen
Violent Night
one?
2? Yes. Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
So let's see what they do in this one. Here we go. If you're watching this on playback, this is going to get claimed because even if the trailer doesn't get claimed, there's a popular song in it.
Kidding.
Whoops, I'll pause that. That looks really good too, honestly.
That was fun. I really enjoyed that movie.
Hear what I said when he brought the hammer out?
Kristen Bell.
Thank you.
You heard that 3 times.
I couldn't hear you. Sorry. Hear what I said?
Last call on the poll, by the way, everybody. Vote quickly. We're wrapping it up in like less than 3 minutes. So vote 1, 2, 3, or 4, whichever one you want.
Did you hear what I said when he brought out that giant hammer? He brought it down to smash that one guy, and I just went, Cole?
It's fun. That'll be a fun Christmas time movie. What comes out December 4th? So that'll be fun.
I don't know, man. Doomsday might have competition now.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Hey, you know what? David Harbour's going to be happy.
David Harbour is into, I'm telling you, 2026 is crazy. Everything is people in other movies. I don't get it. It's wild.
It's a good year for Anne Hathaway, Zendaya, Tom Holland, John Bernthal, David Harbour,
Florence Pugh. She's in Dune also.
Yeah.
Who else is in Dune that's in Avengers? Anybody? Maybe
Zendaya. Maybe big fat maybe.
I doubt it for her, but
I don't know. Isn't Dave Bautista in Dune?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I doubt.
So.
I mean, I doubt he's in Doomsday, but it's possible, I guess.
Yeah, he could be. Yeah. All right. With that being said, everyone, the votes are 1, best X-Men ever, 2, worst X-Men ever, 3, favorite Spider-Man villains, or 4, favorite redhead characters. Those are the choices. And we're going to do 2 of them because we hit the goal in Reloaded. And so we'll do 2. Anyway, while we wait for that, let's go ahead and do our promos for everybody. So we'll do counterclockwise. So Jake, you're up first. What do you got going on this week on your channel?
Oh, well, we got some X-Men 97 coming coverage coming up as the finale is in just under a week. It's crazy to think about that. We got another Lost Level stream on Sunday playing Batman Arkham Knight, and a couple of Spider-Man related bonus videos that I've got coming out. I've been steadily jumping up on the subscriber number, and we're also getting close to monetization. Come on, guys. I think we can get there. And there's like a big list of videos that I'm trying to get through over the next couple weeks. And pretty soon you might see some coverage of Uncanny Experience because I'll be there in Minnesota in September.
Okay. What about you, Darren? What's going on?
Yep. I got Pipeline Mo Thursday, after credits Mondays. If you like streams like this, stream with me, Taz, some of the other guys as well over there. And shout out to Taz. Me and Jake just did a big Spider-Man stream on his show today, on his channel today. So
yeah, we've been busy.
Go check that out.
Okay. As far as it goes for me, I did a video today on Reloaded where I'm going to be, or where I was talking about superhero fatigue. Definitely check that out. Tomorrow, it's either going to be pre-recorded or a Copecast. I haven't decided yet, where I'm going to be reacting to a panel with Film Threat and Critical Drinker on it. I don't know if I'm doing it live or if I'm doing it pre-recorded. We'll see how I feel tomorrow. But before we do this, we got 1 minute left. Darren and Jake, do you want to talk about whether you like the Aang movie or not?
I haven't seen it yet, so Darren, this is all you.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Darren's like, I wish I could have seen it in theaters, you fuckers.
That is true. That is for sure. No, it's very.
I think it would have done
movie.
really well in theaters. I wish it would have came out as a wide release.
Yeah, I mean, I think the big takeaway is it looks gorgeous. It is. It may be my best looking animated movie I've ever seen. It looks absolutely insane. The story's solid, not amazing. Characters are solid, not amazing. I wish they got more. Like, I wish they had the opportunity to do more, because I think maybe they could have improved with more of these. But we'll see what the future of Avatar Studios holds. We'll see.
All right. And we're stopping the poll. Here's what we got. The winner is best X-Men ever. So we're going to do our top 3 favorite or best X-Men ever.
Darren, we might have to throw some hands.
We're doing 2 of them, and the second one we're going to get is our favorite Spider-Man villains. And this is across all media. So you could say, I like the Green Goblin from Spider-Man movie franchise. You can say, I like Green Goblin from the animated. Yeah, you could, technically. I like the Green Goblin from the animated series. So you can pick your version, or you can just be generic and say, you know, you just like them in general. It's entirely up to you.
And both of these are top 3s?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And God, I feel like both of these have the potential to be like expansive top 5s, but I get it.
Well, we can do honorable mentions. Sure. Anyway, we're going to get out of here. Thanks everybody for being here. Don't forget, Tuesday, barring any crazy news, we will start at 11 and we will do a fan appreciation stream. If something big drops, I'm talking like huge news drops between now and Tuesday, I will start an hour early and we'll still do our fan appreciation night. Anyway, that's it. I'm out of here. See everyone later. And because it's my show and I can do what I want, I'm going to use my intro as the outro.